What's up, y'all? Charlie here, and I want to take a second and tell you guys about campaign pilots. Let's say you ship something out with Bolt, Cursor, maybe it's on Vercel, whatever it is. It's deployed, it's out, you're getting some website traffic. All right, how do you get more people to your website, right? How does this, marketing and distribution is the hardest part, which leads into customer acquisition. So in comes campaign pilots. So let's say you've got Google Analytics, you've got Search Console, you've got Tag Manager, everything's wired up. Okay, now you're looking at the data on GA4. You go to acquisition, then you go to traffic acquisition, and you're looking at sessions. All right, cool. You're looking at the KPIs. Sessions, engagement rate, blah, blah, blah. It is so boring to talk about. Now, campaign pilots make sense of all of that data. So it connects to your GA4, connects to your Search Console, it connects to Google Ads, and it makes sense of the data for you. So rather than having to log into GA4 and Search Console or Google Ads, you log into campaign pilots, you connect the data sources, it takes less than 5 minutes, it's a couple clicks, and you simply ask it, what were my top 5 non-branded keywords? And then bam, you get a bunch of answers, and then you get next steps to get more customers to your app. That's what campaign pilots does. Another example. You've got Google Analytics. You have that connected in the app, Campaign Pilots. And then you can ask it, give me a summary of SEO in the past 30 days compared to the previous 30 days. And it will tell you the delta. It will tell you the pages, the highest performing pages, the lowest performing pages. And it basically gives you a roadmap for the subsequent 30 days to get more people, more users, more signups to your app. Head over to www.campaignpilots.ai. Try it for free. Thanks.
I was a solopreneur. I kind of built a business in a weekend with AI and just took off really fast, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now I have 7 employees now, working. AI is cool because you can do a lot solo, but we're humans. We got to talk to people. We got to associate. We got to have a relationship. 95% of all AI implementations fail, right? Because no one was really put in charge of it. Creativity is humanity's superpower.
Hello and welcome back to the Builders Growth Lab podcast. This is episode number 35. And of course, we have Connor back this week, which is really exciting. And our SEO degenerate, Charlie.
All right. How dare you, Mallard? Don't talk to me anymore.
And then of course.
So what am I today though, guys? Am I full stack digital marketing guy? Am I paid? Like what?
Still a gambling degenerate.
Well, yes. Yes, gambling degenerate, I guess. But you can officially now be a digital full stack marketer instead of the paid ads guy. So you're getting a promotion on this podcast today.
Always wanted that. Yeah.
Good. All right.
Oh, I can't wait to tell Zoe when she gets home. She's going to be so proud of me.
You're like, I got a promotion today. Can you believe it?
On the pod.
Like, are you serious? Yeah. Or, oh my God. And by the way, okay, so if you've been listening to the last few episodes, you guys know that we have this new segment called Poopy Pants. I told my husband about it this morning and he was like, that's weird. Like, what do you mean it's called
Poopy?
I'm like, what do you mean? It's the best name ever. I'm like, and I explained the segment to him.
Yeah.
And he already has a story for me to tell, which, we'll get there when we get there. But I'm like, what? And then he started saying, and he's like, okay, I think I get it. I'm like, it doesn't have to be serious. It's supposed to be fun. Okay.
Yeah. It's like you said, it's a direct quote, the shit that's pissing us off every week.
Shit that's pissing us off.
We say it's fun until we all get really into it. And you can just, I know everybody's face and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, that really gets them ticked off. I'm like, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
This is like a venting time for everybody.
So I'm excited to get into that later today after we talk to Jon, but just wanted to say that. So,
our guest, Jon Cheney, he was a boss. That
yes,
great.
We're going to talk to him later. We're going to learn a lot from him and his world. But Connor, since you weren't here last week, how was your weekend? How was your week last week?
What
were
you
up
to?
I'll fill you in on everything. Yeah, out of the country. Charlie makes it sound like I went to like Brussels or something. Like I was in Toronto for a quick client meeting, which it went very well, very productive. Never been to Toronto. So if you haven't been, I actually would recommend it. I didn't get much time there, maybe 2 days, but it was super clean. The people were very, very friendly. Reminds me of like Canada's New York City, basically.
Because
I think it's also
I've
way
heard
cleaner.
that it's a cleaner New York City.
The craziest stat though that I was getting is that I think it's 80% of Canada's population lives in the Toronto like DMA, like in Toronto or like within a vicinity of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like
actually.
GTO, like Greater Toronto. Well, that's a hockey league.
Greater Toronto area. That's what they were saying.
GTA.
Yes, like
that's what
GTA.
it is. GTA.
GTA is a video game, and just so you know.
By the way, when that game
to me,
comes
it will
out,
always be a video game.
When that video game comes out, I'm like, this is being shut down for like 2 months because I'm going ham on that game. I love that game.
It's never going to come out. They keep pushing it by a year, so we'll see.
I didn't have an Xbox or any of that. Sorry, I'm totally interrupting.
No, sorry. I know we're being jerks. Okay,
why don't you go? Just go for it, guys. No, forget me. I'm gone for a week. You know, it's
you
like,
get
whatever,
promoted.
like,
no, I want to hear about Toronto because I've never.
I got
been
promoted. I got demoted. I don't know. No. Besides that,
okay.
Toronto is fine. Poutine's all right. Like I don't know what all the fuss is about with poutine, but whatever. Anyway, so that was a couple weeks ago. That's why I wasn't here for the pod. Did I remember I hit you guys up on Slack. Did I actually hit you up during Poopy Pants time?
Yeah, you did.
It
was like right after we finished the
it.
segment, and it was perfect timing. I was like,
we had
oh
just
my gosh.
I just closed the meeting up, and it went like really well too, which I'm super happy about. And I was like, oh, I miss you guys. I hit you up, and then I said, you know what really gives me Poopy Pants? TSA, because they're awful. So I'm glad I got you guys at the right time. And then the last week besides that, it's been good. I mean, somewhat. I got really bad. I don't know if it's food poisoning or norovirus. I think it's kind of the same effects or side of whatever you get. But went out Saturday, watched some of the games, made a really dumb bet on DraftKings, just stupid bet. Anyway, woke up Sunday morning and just like immediately had to hurl like in the bath. And it's like no matter what I did, how much Gatorade I had, like tried to like chew on saltines, like nothing would stay in my stomach. So all day Sunday and all day Monday was just, I've never been bedridden like that since I was like a kid. Like, really? I swear, it wasn't so much. I know I told you guys before we started up today, but it's not so much the stomach thing that got me, right? Like, okay, you gotta, hurl a little bit, fine, whatever, you can get over that. But because of the dehydration, it's like my legs were cramping and my lower back was cramping so bad because your kidneys are also going through like, overdrive for everything. So to get up and walk was like debilitating almost, this whole thing. It's like I would get up, I'd walk for 5 minutes, I would be out of breath and like hot and cold sweats. And it's like, get it. Your body's trying to just like work and get it out. But I wish that upon nobody. Not even my worst. Not even the people who double park in Astoria. I don't wish that.
Do you think maybe you caught something at Pearson? Because I've heard Pearson is a disgusting building.
I could have the airport?
Yeah.
It wasn't like the nicest
airport
I've ever
brutal.
been in. I don't know if it was from the night before. I'm always a big like if I get sick from something that I've had like to eat or drink, I always feel like my brain recalls something. And I had a burger on Saturday night, and for some reason, all day Sunday and all day Monday, when I would think of like cheeseburger, like I would dry heave. Okay. I would dry heave, and for some reason, I don't think I'm going to be able to have a cheeseburger for like 3 months now.
Do you have a weak stomach?
Like, no, not really. No. Even Zoe yesterday and the day before, she's like, I've never seen you this sick. I've never seen you have to like go to the bathroom, like, and vomit so much. Sorry to be very descriptive here, guys, but she's like, I've never seen you like this. So it's like, I do not, stomach is like iron, and it's whatever it was
that's the way I am.
Really, really bad. So
I was stomach like I don't know. Billy goat.
It was terrible. So that was kind of how my last weekend went. But I mean, besides that, we're great. Today is awesome. I think I fell asleep you're going to hate me, Charlie. I fell asleep at like 8 p.m. last night because I didn't feel well. And I slept until like 8 a.m. this morning.
That's beautiful.
Straight.
And I woke up twice just to literally like flip flop from one side to the other and just like, boom, right back to sleep.
Bro,
it was,
that's great. Here's what I did last night. Went to the gym, got back, tried to fall asleep around 11:30. Couldn't fall asleep. It was about 2:30. I decided to go on the couch, and then I think around 3:30, I think I dozed off, and then it was 6, and then I got up, and then I just went downstairs.
All right, we need to work on your sleep. That's an objective.
I've tried for many.
We got to keep going. We can't give up.
Charlie, sleep and bladder. We're gonna come down. We're gonna get to the bottom of these two issues.
Okay, so
we'll see what happens in Breck. I guess I've accepted it already. That I probably won't sleep the first night. I might sleep the second. First night, it doesn't matter where I travel. I just
That
don't
I
sleep
agree
the
with.
first night.
I can never
I just
sleep.
toss
So
and turn.
the hotel in
Yeah.
Toronto, biggest king size. I had like this great room, like what had like king size bed. It was great, and it's like I think I woke up like every hour on the hour because it's just
Oh man.
it's just like I don't know. I'm not used to it. If I don't, and it was a comfy bed. Just it
I'm the
wasn't
same
in my
way.
house.
I'm the same way. It takes me a minute to sort of
Yeah.
adjust. Yeah.
So, Connor, getting back to your weekend, what bets did you have for playoff football?
Oh, okay. So this is the really dumb one. I had quite a few, and I actually hit on a couple. Like, so I bet I was just out of pocket a little bit on Saturday. Okay, let's say that. And I made one $200 bet to win 720, and I won that one. So it was really good. And then since I won that,
What
that
was
was
the
for
bet,
what?
though?
Oh, I don't know. Let me tell you really quick. Hold on.
Let me
I'll pull
open
this
up my DraftKings app really quick.
Yeah.
Let me open this up. It's literally, you know how they give you the shortcuts of the apps you use most? DraftKings is like number 3.
Oh yeah. It's like the speed
Instagram,
dial.
text messaging, DraftKings. Wow,
That's hilarious. Now I'm like
makes me sound
opening up my
so
phone
bad.
and it's LinkedIn. Ugh.
Makes it sound so bad.
Mine is text.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So I bet, where's that
With
one?
you disgusting animals.
Hold on. How did I win this? Oh, this is it right here. So, oh man, this is crazy. So it was, you ready for this? You guys know how parlays work, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so a parlay means like you have to pick like a sequence of events to happen. It doesn't have to be in the same game. It could be across multiple games. But I chose this for was it the Denver? It was the Bills in Denver game. So it was Josh Allen, 1 passing touchdown. Dalton Kincaid, 2 receptions. Cortland Sutton, 3 receptions. Bo Nix passing for 170 yards. Josh Allen passing for 150 yards. James Cook rushing for 60 yards. And I bet 200 and I won 720.
Wait, so are there's all bets or that's just one singular bet?
That's one singular bet. So like you need all of the
all
events.
those things to happen.
You need all the events to happen.
Wow.
Is there a game on Saturday when we're all together?
There probably is because it's
so.
playoff
y'all about
season.
to see. Y'all
it's
about to see.
Season.
I'm gonna let you guys pick. I'm gonna let you pick the bets with me.
I'm gonna literally
Let's
leave.
do it.
I'm gonna be like, you guys, I'm not feeling that great. I think I got to go.
No.
Really?
Oh.
During gamble? Oh
I'm
man,
just kidding.
I am in. I'll
I'll help you gamble your own money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, you're not gonna be yours. It's gonna be mine. I'm gonna let you guys have fun.
I was gonna say I'll bring like a shoebox of cash or something.
So then I got like really full of myself, right? There's a couple small little ones in there, but then it was, what was this? This was the really bad one, okay? And it was like halftime through the 49ers Seahawks game, and Christian McCaffrey had like 30-something yards. And I was like, oh, there's no way he's not. It was 32 yards. I was like, he'll get 18 yards in the second half. I'm going to bet 500, and I'm only going to win 600. And I'm like, okay, but I'm still winning 100 more than I had. And the reason they pay out so low is because this is most likely going to happen. Like, you know, that's why they don't give you nearly as much. So I'm like, oh, it's a surefire thing. And yeah, I didn't win that. So all the money I had won, I literally just wasted like 4 hours later.
Dude, the 49ers choked though. Like
they
just
did
choked. I mean,
They did big time.
Yeah.
That last play in regulation was
Not good.
bananas. That
Not
I
good.
cannot believe he got that.
Lesson
That was
learned
nuts.
is stick to, I really don't even bet that high. It's like I do like $30 bets, $20 bets, $10 bets, like, and I'll probably bet like $50 on like a weekend. Like, or if there's a game Saturday and a game Sunday, I'll do 50 Saturday and 50 Sunday. And I typically balance out. So I'm not degenerate gambler.
Yeah, you know, maybe we'll
but
get you up to that title in the next few years. You're working your way there, but
yeah, I'm working my way
I
there.
feel like you're slow playing us right now, Connor.
What do you mean?
I feel like you gamble a lot more. You're just not telling us.
No,
well,
no.
we'll find out. We'll find
We'll
out.
find
We'll
out.
find out. Yeah.
You gonna learn. You gonna learn.
We're gonna
on
learn.
Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the weekend. You know, that was the betting. I mean, it could be worse. Could always be better. You know what? I would love to do. My wife does is she bets 50 cents on a game, but like since you can combine things to happen, she'll combine like 25 things to happen that are so unlikely. But if she wins like $250,000, which is just like, it's like so wild. It's like, you're never going to win
That's
that.
some serious girl math, and I love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really funny.
Because it's not about winning every bet. It's about hitting it big, okay,
and
Connor?
she justifies it.
It's gotta
just
be right
like that.
once.
She's like, well, and I swear, because it's kind of cute. It's a hobby. I'm really proud of her for it. But
I mean, it is cute because you guys get to like, she gets to understand your world a little bit, even if she's only gambling 50 cents. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But I've caught her in a few times where it's like, I only gamble on two things. I only gamble on actually, no, I really only gamble on football. Baseball once in a while, but it's only football. I caught Zoe the other day. She was on the app and there's no football. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, well, I bet on like, basketball and something else. I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, you didn't even watch it. I was like, but again, it's 25 cents at a time.
You got her. You got her.
She got
on the whole. She got.
She got.
That's actually kind of cute though that you guys do it together.
That's cool.
It's funny. Like it. But she'll sit at the whole point. She'll sit on her laptop for like an hour, like on like Saturday night before the game Sunday. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm just doing my research. And she's literally like, it's like a beautiful mind shit going on. Like, you know, the meme with Russell Crowe and like the numbers are running across her head. I'm like, hey, if she wins, it's good for both of us. So.
100%. 100%. And what a great story to tell. If that's
yes.
Right.
All right. Cool. So that's me. You know, Mallory, fill us in. What's been going on lately?
What's been going on in my world?
What's going on?
Okay.
Who is that? Marvin Gaye? He does What's Going On?
Oh my God, yeah. Actually, I just saw a hilarious post about Marvin Gaye about how like he never in his life just understands what's going on. If you look at his song list, it's like, what's going on? So where are we going? What is she thinking about? It's like literally, it's so really funny. My husband and I were dying.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually really good. Like Marvin Gaye clearly, when he was writing all his songs, had no fucking clue as to what was going on in the world. And it shows in his songs that he's created.
That's good.
Yeah. But what's been going on in my world? I mean, my weekend was really chill. I had voice lessons, which was nice to kind of just get my voice warmed up, and we're learning some Olivia Dean, and she's really fun, and that'll be kind of a stepping stone into me kind of finding a teacher that can help me on the opera side of things this year, so I can start just maybe coming up with a few songs that I can pull together for when I eventually am ready to audition. But so that's been really cool. And I had craft club on Sunday, which wasn't really, it's just me and my sister and a friend, and we just like make cute little things, but we actually kind of more so we're just eating and gabbing, and we didn't get to too much to the craft part, but it was still fun.
You're giving yourself that like centralized activity to do, right? Like where it's like, sure, it's crafting, but it's more about catch up time.
Yeah. And they were like, we didn't create all this stuff. I'm like, who cares? Like, it's just to hang out, you know, if we create something cool, and if we don't, like, it's not a big deal. And then it's just also an excuse for me to hang out with my niece and nephew. And that's really important to me. And then I watched a lot of football this weekend. I'll talk more about this in Poopy Pants, but but I watched the 49ers game. I watched the Bears game, which was a huge upset. The Bears game.
What a hard
unbelievable game.
The game was unbelievable. I thought, man, at the end of the fourth quarter, I'm like, this is it. Like, I'm like, they're tied. Like, they're going to fucking go into overtime and they're going to win. And especially considering like the fact that, you know, LA is not used to playing in super cold weather. It was 19 degrees. Yep. We're like, this is the advantage that they have, right? Like,
now you're starting to think like a gambler, Mallory. Yes.
Okay, look.
I'm kidding.
I'm getting there before I click the gamble button. And basically like all the steps leading up to that point before I hit the button. But I did enjoy watching the game. So the 49ers, no. I was like, I'm not watching them get absolutely like just demolished. Like that's not fun. That's just not fun for me. So there's that. And then what else? I mean, my end of the week last week, doing some Pilates, got my hair done, met up. And I was telling Charlie last week, I do like 3 to 5 new meetings with folks a week. So I got to meet someone new on Friday, which was really nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Kind of boring. But the consultancy stuff and the agency stuff is taking off, and it's really busy. So I just had during this. Yeah, I just had someone text me during this, one of my old investors. She's like, I have two more people for you to talk with. I'm like, oh my God, like it's so busy.
Cool.
It's really, really busy. So
it's fun.
it's fun. Yeah, I'm doing a kind of a mix. I know I said this last week, so I won't go into too much depth, but like doing a mix of coming in and either sort of, helping with go-to-market launch plans, helping sort of scale up a community program that they're already building. A lot of the companies I'm talking to are early stage. So I'm doing like paid advisory for another early stage startup that hasn't even launched their product yet. So it's kind of a little bit all over the place, but I kind of like that. So that's been nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it's great working for yourself, right? Not working for somebody else.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
You will never go back ever again.
Literally, like, I think last week, maybe I said this, Charlie, so sorry if I'm repetitive, but I had brunch club last week, and one of my friends who has been working at a company for a long time was talking about a performance review. I'm like, no one's ever going to give me another performance review for the rest of my career, unless it's like, it's got to be some sort of funny exception or something. Like, it's not happening. I don't want that. Like,
maybe a gambling performance review. Something like that.
I can't tell you how many stories I have of like getting passed from a promotion for like no good reason. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm not.
You're past that.
What are you going to give me a performance review on? How I'm not eating enough egg salad sandwiches this year? How I'm not playing enough Animal Crossing?
Isn't there an update?
That's the update. I'm playing Animal Crossing, everyone. I'm playing update 3.0 and
that's new. Yeah, my girlfriend told me that.
It's new. And I'm every single day. So now there's a hotel on the island. So I'm putting together all of the guest rooms. I'm decorating them and making sure.
I love it.
It's so good. So I fell asleep last night playing Animal Crossing. I was
really?
like decorating and I'm like,
just one more.
Just one more piece of furniture to complete this room.
My girlfriend texted me to ask you, I think this is the end of last week, if you have the update yet.
Yes, I do. I just downloaded it a few days ago. I am playing it. It's actually making me enjoy Animal Crossing again. And funny enough, I also have my 3DS, which kind of funny that there's a poop sticker on this. This is old. So I've also been playing, sometimes I'm playing
you need the jeans sticker right next to it.
Did you get the new Switch, Mallory?
Oh yeah, I have the Animal Crossing Switch. This is a 3DS.
No, I have the old Switch, and I know like the new one came out. It was like double the price of what the old one was.
Oh, I don't have the new one
around it. Oh, okay,
I don't have the new one. I have the Animal Crossing version of the previous Switch. So that's what I've been. I've been playing. Yeah.
Cool.
And now I might want to start playing Hello Kitty Adventure Island 2 again, just because. It's so close.
Are you just like a Mario Kart fan or anything, like by any chance?
Okay.
Not really.
Okay. First of all, the fact that you said Mario makes me want to just exit Zoom right now. Because it's such a Canadian thing. I have a Canadian friend. She goes, Mario. I'm like, it's Mario.
Yeah.
It's Mario.
A boot.
Okay. Sorry, Connor.
Is it Mario?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Mario.
And they moonlight as plumbers.
You guys, look. Okay, you're talking to the girl who got to do a Nintendo commercial.
True.
I don't know
Do you have,
how to pronounce Mario.
Mallory, are there... Well, you don't really drink that much, you mentioned. I'm sure they have them in SF. There's a bar not too far away from here where I live in Denver. It's a arcade bar. So they have like classic arcade games, Mortal Kombat.
I love places like that.
I love arcade bars. They're
like
fun.
whatever else it is. And like
Barcade.
Mario Kart, like you can't, it's always packed. It's like the most, like you have to stand in line to play Mario Kart. Mario.
Isn't that crazy? Because you can just play it at home.
I guess.
So yeah, I know. Unless you're Canadian,
I'm not French Canadian,
but you're not, Connor. So you're saying
that's even
not.
worse. I'm from Long Island, where it's just like Italian Central. Like I should know better, but I guess I don't. I'm sorry.
You watch that dating show on YouTube, Updating? It started in Long Island.
Updating.
Yeah, they have over like 1 million subscribers. A buddy of mine,
oh my God,
he was like, "Hey, Charlie, you're about to hop on the flight. Check out this new YouTube show." And it started in Long Island. They have
Speaking of shows. Well, actually, Charlie, we should give you your update. But has anyone watched this heated rivalry thing? That's like blowing up?
I haven't either, but I heard it's really good.
Heated rivalry? It's on YouTube.
It's hockey, isn't it? Isn't it hockey?
Yeah, but it's like, it's all hockey. It's like a gay hockey show.
Yeah.
I have not seen it.
But it's like blowing up everywhere. Everyone's like, yeah, heated rivalry, this and that. And I'm like, oh, all right, man. I don't know.
By the way, speaking of that, there was a goalie fight last night in the NHL. And you never see that. The goalie skated like the length of the ice. They just like
peeled off their helmets and they.
Did they?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Hell
like,
yeah.
you never. It's been 6 years since there was a goalie scrap. You never see that. Anyways, I've seen it. Like I've seen like the thumbnail for it, but I haven't watched it. Shoresy to me is still the best.
Shoresy's great.
Show.
Yeah, I just keep hearing about it. I have no idea. Yeah, I've seen some. I don't know like it all like verbatim. I'm sure you do.
So funny. It is really accurate too. You will hear poopy pants. You hear pee pee whack. You will hear
pee-pee whack.
Yeah. Oh, coach gave you a pee-pee whack. Can't do that again. It's so
dude.
funny.
Honestly, every episode we record at this point, the most said words are poo, and maybe second will be pee because we're moving in that direction, which is hilarious.
There was a part, one of the funniest. Well, I'll have to tell y'all when we're not recording, but I laughed for a very long time. The coach who like screams at his players, he's like, "Hey, I can't remember what his name was. John, what's my favorite No Doubt song?" And he's like, "I don't know." And he goes, "Think about it." And he goes, "Don't speak." And then like, the whole, I laughed. I don't know why. I might have a couple glasses of wine. I thought that was the funniest shit. And it's so fucking funny.
No, that's good.
Like
that's actually like the only song I know too off the top of my head. So I probably would have said the same thing.
I laughed.
Brother, you like a wine drinker? You like a beer guy?
I've gotten a little into wine lately. I've been watching sommelier
a little
videos.
wine snob here,
So,
huh?
not really. Okay,
right.
Getting into my week. I've been getting into wine watching. There's the YouTube channel I think it's Bon Appetit, and it's a guy, sommelier. I can't remember his name, but he seems like a really cool guy, very relatable, and yeah, he just teaches you. Okay, I like dry wine. I like wine with steak.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, girlfriend and I went to dinner. This was Saturday. Watched the Broncos game. I live on one side of downtown Denver. My girlfriend lives on the other side of downtown Denver. So I'm trying to time it that I make it through and like right in the middle of us. If you're listening to this, just pull out YouTube. Right in the middle of us is the Broncos Stadium. So I'm trying to get caught in Bronco traffic. Broncos win. Hell yeah. Everybody's happy. We're going to try a new steakhouse. And it's in downtown Denver. So I have to go basically through the crazy traffic. Get through traffic, pick her up. We're stoked. It's a new place. She's been wanting to go there for a while. She has celiac. So like we just love steak. We're getting into the Uber and she goes, "Oh my God." I said, "What?" She goes, "My sister just texted me. Bo Nix is out for the rest of the playoffs." I was like, "Yeah, right. Okay, that's fake news." I pull out my phone, and as we're like driving into the like Bronco traffic in the heart of downtown Denver, and everybody's honking, and you could tell like the news wire is starting to hit because nobody's honking anymore, and like everybody's like, "Oh fuck!" Well, I heard somebody out. I was like, "Fuck!" And our like the windows
that was pretty
up.
brutal, man.
The windows were up on the Uber, so yeah. Got that news. That was shitty. Tried the new steakhouse. I like fillets. I'm a fillet guy. So, or bone-in. I like bone-in ribeye too.
Classic.
Yeah. Is that your cut, Mallory?
I love a good skirt steak. I do like a bone-in ribeye as well. But skirt steak, when done well, really good.
That's it. Okay. Yeah. Connor, are you prime rib?
Take a guess, buddy. New York strip steak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, duh.
Okay,
Damn.
yeah, of course.
We got ribeye, steak, and New York strip.
Yeah, like strips are good. I don't know. I mean,
I like strips.
Ribeye, yeah, strip or ribeye.
Okay, gotcha. That was Friday. Couple glasses. I think I had 2 glasses of wine at dinner, and then we went to a wine bar after. I had 1 glass. I woke up Sunday morning just foggy. I'm like, oh man, I'm getting old.
Isn't that crazy? I think wine. So wine just does that too because there's usually also a higher sugar content than there is in beer. So even if you just have a few, right? I think it's like sometimes it's that sugar that gets to us. But what would be really interesting, what I was going to say is if you are into wine, it could be cool for us to maybe one day we bring, since Nick's here, you guys bring your partners and we do a little Sonoma wine.
Ooh,
okay.
That could be fun.
Love that. But like, so Mallory, are you like, do you know wine quite a bit? Like I would
I mean, I go to a lot of wine. I'm not like a freaking snob about it, but like I do. It's like I just don't remember a lot of the things that the sommeliers and those that like, serve the wine teach us. But like this is like up north, it's like wine central. So like you don't even need to go to Napa to experience just like great wine. But I mean, if we do that, I'll definitely indulge and try it all. I'm more of a white wine kind of girl, but I love reds too. And so I'm down to try anything. I love a good wine tasting. Get 2 or 3 in you, and you're like,
we're actually looking to come out to California. Oh man, when was it? I think it was May. I think it was in May.
We'd be down.
May
June. Let me know, Connor, because
we're gonna fly into LA and then we're gonna do the drive up all the way to San Francisco. Yeah, because we've done it from San Francisco up to Portland, but we haven't done the bottom half of it from LA to San Francisco.
Cool. Okay.
That'll be a beautiful drive. Okay, I'll have to. Now that I know that, I will make a mental note and send you some.
Yeah, send some recs.
Let me know. Yeah, my girlfriend used to live in Alameda.
There's also Charlie. I know I keep cutting in. We were cutting into your week, but there is also. I think it's in May too. Unfortunately, now that we're planning all this stuff, but New York City, they're having some like AI summit here with quite a few big names. I literally saw it like scrolling through something on the internet.
Is it Replit?
But I forget. I literally forget. Like I have to go and try and find it again. But it's happening on May 4th and the 5th, and it looked pretty legit.
Yeah, we should. I'm all about
4th and 5th. 4th and 5th
in person.
Yeah. Anyway, Charlie, your week, the rest of the week, after your third glass of wine.
I was like looking into
you
this
lush,
as you're talking. But yes, go ahead, Charlie.
My 3 glasses of wine a week. So wrap that up. And then I don't know if this is new. I don't really trust Reddit. I don't know. It's like anybody with an internet connection can post on there, generally speaking. But I see this here. AFC Championship tickets prices just fell 50% in a 60-minute span after the Bo Nix injury news. I don't know if that's true, but that is made my heart hurt. I was thinking about getting tickets, but and then I realized, we're going to be in Breck, so we'll talk about the trip a little later. But yeah, that was a week playing hockey, of course, and tried a new steakhouse. I have these little notes. I worked on the app update. Got some feedback. Talked to Connor for a bit on Friday. The app will now be more proactive rather than just like a chat analysis, because that's like kind of,
Yeah, I still have to test it. I'm a terrible co-host. I need to. I'll do that maybe this weekend when we're all together. I'll do some testing and give you feedback live. Like that could be helpful.
And I think Jon Cheney, that guy is his finger on the pulse. He said agents in 26. So once a user connects their data source, GA4 Search Console ads, the agent will analyze, and then it will pick up any anomalies. And then so it'll catch an anomaly before it happens, and then it'll send an email, and then it'll tell you how to fix or correct from that anomaly. So, for example, if your SEO traffic, tanks for some reason, it'll tell you what pages, and then it'll tell you how to optimize that all in an email. So it'll catch it before you, and then it'll tell you what to do after the fact. So it basically just handles everything for you. It spoon feeds you a profitable campaign.
Got it.
That's basically what it does.
Got it.
Connor, I can see the wheels moving right now. Connor, what are your thoughts?
They
on
are.
that?
No. Just I will digest and we'll come back to that. But I like it. I don't dislike it. I'm just
it's more it's proactive. It's not reactive. So it's not just,
which I get.
It's not just like a chat analysis. It's cool. It's got connectors and it does like scheduled campaigns and all that. But the fact that it's proactive.
I feel like this is my assumption based off of Connor's face is like, were you reacting to the way he pitched or like the way he explained the product?
A little bit. I think it just needs to be more like streamlined and just like, I agree. Here's 2 sentences. Like this is it. This is what it does. This is what it gives you. Do you want it or not?
We'll work on that this weekend, Charlie. We'll work on like that 1-liner, 2-liner that's like super clear to the point, right? Like it gets the person that you're speaking to understanding what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. So
we got the whiteboard. Yeah.
We got the whiteboard.
No, we should definitely take some time.
I'm
down to help
just
with
sit
that.
and just like,
absolutely
just start cracking away at it. Because I mean, the call we had, Charlie, too, it was like, how do we just like push this thing forward and let's just start rolling? But based on some of that feedback too that we've been getting. So
yeah. Well, yeah, let's yeah, I'm happy to help and brainstorm with you guys this weekend.
Mallory, so as an advisor, we need your expertise.
Yeah, I know. I got to be more supportive here. So, well, I'm really excited because we're about to talk to Jon, and Charlie mentioned, oh wait, Connor, your finger's up.
No. I was kind of like, we're about to talk to Jon. Sorry. I don't know what I was doing. So you were saying it, and I was like, yeah, Jon.
Yeah. No, we're about to talk to Jon Cheney. I know both Connor and I know that he has been on an episode on this podcast about 6 months ago, but Charlie, you know him really well. Like what should our listeners sort of understand before we talk to him and dive in?
He is a successful entrepreneur himself. He's had a couple exits. This guy knows his stuff, and he has his thumb on the pulse with AI. He started a company over a weekend, got it very successful. He has big partnerships. He'll talk about in the interview. So if there's anybody you listen to on how to build a profitable business in a short amount of time using AI, that's the guy. Mm-hmm. He's the dude.
Yeah, I'm excited to chat with him. And I also read that he calls himself the chief piano player. And for 36 years, he's still present in this role, according to LinkedIn. And I just love that so much. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got a really interesting like music background. And I think I was telling both Connor and Charlie before the podcast, like to me, that's really interesting because I like to kind of see what founders are doing outside of building and grinding away. So I think we'll get a little taste of that with Jon.
Cool stuff.
Sweet. Let's dive in.
All right. And we're back with Jon Cheney, CEO of GenAIPI. You can find his website, genaipi.org. He's a returning guest. So, Jon, thanks for hopping back on again.
You know, I'm invited to a lot of podcasts, and I have to say, being on your podcast the last time was one of the funnest ones I've done. And I can see you've gotten even better now. So I'm super excited to be back. Thanks.
Well, thank you for the compliment. And there's been y'all have been buzzing on LinkedIn. We see you on YouTube and everywhere, which is awesome. So congrats on that. But real quick, because you're a mountain biker, you're in Utah, you're a downhiller. Do you have any bike trips planned this year? Whistler, Howler, Bike Park, maybe Trestle here in Colorado? Anything planned yet this year?
You know, I may make it out to Telluride for a minute.
Okay.
That's nice. Obviously just fun. It's nice because my family likes to go out there. It's just a beautiful spot to hang out. So I might do that. But honestly, guys, I'm spoiled. Like I live by the trails. I don't have to go to Whistler, right? I mean, Whistler's cool. And these places are great, but man, I can zip over in like Corner Canyon here, and that's some of the best out. You got Park City, you've got American Fork Canyon, and Mount Timpanogos, and just anyway, there's so many different places I can go hang out on my bike, and before the bike trails open, the rivers open, and that's what I'm really looking for. Although there's no snow here this year.
Yeah,
I'm quite nervous about the rivers and whether or not I'm going to have any whitewater, but.
I was about to ask, Jon, are you like into other extreme sports too, like along with the mountain biking stuff?
Whitewater kayaking is my main gig.
Is it?
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So if you go look at my Instagram or my YouTube or whatever, just like my personal one, right? Which I don't, it's not crazy, but I just post stuff that I like to do. But yeah, you'll see me going on.
Wait a minute. I feel like we have to do an episode where we're whitewater rafting with Jon, and we're asking him questions while we're doing that together. That could
I just have so much respect for that because I'm definitely going to be the guy in the back who like falls off and just be like, okay, we just lost Connor. Anyway, continue forward.
Let's just keep going.
That'll make for good TV. So
exactly. There you go.
We should absolutely do that. There's a podcast I've been invited to a few times that I haven't been able to do yet, but they kind of do that. They'll do the podcast while boating, while rock climbing, while whatever, right? And so anyway, we can do an out of the office one with you guys. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. Well, Jon, since you were last on, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago, what has happened from then to now, January 20th, 26th?
I think we just grew up a lot, right? We went from, I was a solopreneur at that moment, where I had, I had shared the story on the last one where I kind of built a business in a weekend with AI and just took off really fast, hundreds of thousands of dollars, within weeks, and just really, really awesome. And I basically took it to probably a couple months after I was on your podcast. I took it to basically $1 million solo, right? With
It's
plus
insane.
AI, all my AI employees, and that was fun. And then I said, okay, it's time to kind of graduate from that maybe. And so now I was on my all hands this morning, and we had 8 people,
Wow.
so including myself. So I have 7 employees now,
Wow.
working, and benefits, health insurance.
That's awesome.
Yes.
How's that feel, John? Right? Just like personally, like just, to be able
it's
to see
amazing,
that
right?
and have the team on with you, like
It's amazing, man. I love providing opportunities for others, right?
Yeah.
And I take care of my people well. I really am grateful for people to join the team and want to help us, accomplish the mission that we're out to do here, which is to, make AI work for everybody. We want to help it really make an impact in your life, or in your business. And the first guy I hired, a guy named Brantley, he actually took, so I teach this course that I've taught it a few times, like 25 times now, I guess, on how to build a business in a weekend with AI. And he took it. He was one of the first students that took it, and he went off and he actually built a business that did about $30,000 in revenue, with using the same kind of framework I did. And then he built another one that did like 5,000 in revenue. And he just had this kind of things. I was like, dude, you're like actually making this happen. And he was just really good at it. And so he was my first guy I brought in. And so just really excited to kind of, I get to cherry pick and, be like, hey, these are the people I really want to work with and associate with, that just become, like your best friends, right? As you go to work. So yeah, it's nice. It's cool. AI is cool because you can do a lot solo. But we're humans. We got to talk to people. We got to associate. We got to have relationships. So it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice that I'm not, sitting in my office alone all the time, and we can jump on, Zooms or go meet up in person and do that. We're still all remote. We all work remote, but we can do that these days really easily.
Yeah. I think a lot of the marketing messaging in the AI space has been on replacing and not enhancing. So it seems like that is what you're focused on, right? It's like not about replacing a bunch of people. It's about enhancing your workflow that you already have and what you're already sort of working on in general, and making that, of course, as useful and as quick as possible.
Yeah, we want to make sure people aren't afraid of AI, right? And unfortunately, sometimes that actually does result in replacement. I'll give an example of that. I've worked with the CEO that had about 200 employees, and I taught him how to vibe code. I pulled up Replit on a call and showed him, and I had him pull it up, and he did it, and he just built this website for something he'd been thinking about for a while. And he's like, man, I've been asking my tech team to build this website for me for like 4 months, and they haven't gotten it done. And so he got off the call, and the next day we got on for a follow up, and he said, I fired my CTO and my VP of engineering. Like,
wow,
they weren't. I was like, guys, I just built this website in like 10 minutes. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but it doesn't do this, and it doesn't follow this, and we could do it better if we connected it here and we did that. And he's like, I don't care. I just needed this landing page. It doesn't need all that.
Yeah.
Right. And like, yeah, but we still want to be the ones that are like in control of everything, and we don't really think AI can quite do it yet. He's like, dude, it can, and I did it. And they just couldn't, they were not seeing eye to eye. And so he said, I gotta find someone who can see the future and work with the future. Otherwise, if you're just stuck in the past and you're pushing off and saying, I don't want to do this, you're gonna run into a problem there. But yeah, anyway.
That fear of replacement, right? Which, listen, it's understandable to an extent, but it's like, again, AI isn't a replacement engine. It's a supplemental tool to help you get to the end point you're trying to get to that much faster. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it helps. It's so awesome. It's so awesome.
I think that just gets lost on so many people, but
it really does. It really does. But back to the question about kind of where we've been going. Obviously we've grown up as a company. Something that kind of helped, it was kind of random. I built all my stuff. I did Replit, kind of became my platform, and I'm glad I found them. Right, I know there's a lot of other ones out there that do great work, but Replit I just kind of latched on to early on, and they latched on to me. I shared my story, and they started talking about it, and the CEO ended up talking about me on Joe Rogan, which then connected me into Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, and I ended up helping Dean and Tony launch something called AI Advantage, which is a big thing they did, and you may have seen advertisements for it, but that launched early, basically the first week in November. So that was just fairly recent here, a couple months ago. And now they're, trying to build up that system, and I'm still working with them. And we're, GenAIPI is kind of the advanced arm of that. We kind of help because they do a lot of kind of the short term, the coaching, go through this course, do this. Now you've graduated and you moved on. But then when someone says, "Hey, I need help at my company, like I really need someone to help me," that's where we would come in, right? And so we our kind of primary product that has taken off, that's really pushing revenue, is our fractional chief AI officer offering. And kind of makes sense just by hearing the name, right? An FCAIO, where we come in and we help, from a strategic perspective. We'll get our hands dirty and we'll vibe code with you. We'll teach you how to do it. We do lots of training, but we kind of become the guy or the group responsible at the company for making sure AI actually gets implemented, right? You see these reports that say, 95% of all AI implementations fail, right? And the reality is, it's because no one was really put in charge of it. Right? The CEO is like, we want to use AI, so everybody get this. And then everyone's like, yeah, I don't really know how to do it. And no one really has, the CEO doesn't have extra time lying around. The VP of sales doesn't have extra time lying around to go follow up and make sure you're using your AI tools properly. And so when you get someone that comes in and says, hey, it's my responsibility to make sure AI is being used, that we're identifying systems and processes that can be enhanced by AI, that we can help everybody, raise that tide so that all ships go up as well, so that everybody is just more efficient and more effective by using the right tool in the right place at the right time. We're making a big impact on companies that are hiring us for that. So that's kind of our main thing that's growing right now. But it's been a lot of fun. It's been a crazy 6 months.
Exciting.
I mean, that, like, from my sort of previous experiences, I feel like that niche makes so much sense, especially considering, and you kind of already said this, Jon, like there are so many founders, especially when it comes to like mid to large size companies, that are like, we need to use AI. But like, when you say that, what does that mean? Right? Like, and how do you actually implement it? What is the process like? And how do you get everybody on board in the company? Right. So it's one thing to just be like, we have to use AI. And it's another to be like, okay, this is actually how we're going to do it and why it matters and how it's going to actually impact our business. And it sounds like you're the kind of person to come in and do that.
Yeah, I mean, change management's been around for a long time, and you always just have to have someone help you push through these new things. And the crazy thing about AI, we're actually working on something. We haven't launched it yet. We're working on a metric called the AI Relative Adaptation Ratio, or the RAR. The RAR anyway. But what that does is it kind of looks at, because AI is advancing so quickly, right? And so if you learn ChatGPT, and that's great, now you're using it for your email. But if you just stay there forever, like AI's taken off and you're still here, right? It's good that you've entered the fray, but you have to constantly be learning. And so we have this thing that automatically, so we have just an agentic system set up to go out and constantly search and learn about what's new, and then create this kind of, all right, here's the baseline of, the best AI practices out there. And then we have our, dashboards and systems that we've built that say, okay, here's how well trained the company is. Here's how many people are scoring this. We have our little assessments and things like that. And we can keep track of projects, technologies we're using. And so we can say, okay, this company is, 51% adapted to, if 100% is you are using the latest and greatest everywhere, right? And then 0 is like, you're not doing anything. If you're going to fall somewhere in between there. And so we're really trying to put metrics to it and a way to measure it so that we can, as the name of my company kind of suggests, the General AI Proficiency Institute. The word institute kind of implies that we're doing research and putting out things to help. And so if we can put metrics to it and be able to measure across many different organizations, we hope we can start to really share some insights that people are going to be like, wow, if I do this, this, and this, I can bump that metric up internally. And then of course, if you want it actually measured, you could hire us. But the concept is you got to just constantly be learning. AI is not slowing down. It's speeding up. A lot of people are like, yeah, it's plateauing. No, it's not.
It's buzzing.
Absolutely not.
Oh, it's just the beginning.
That's a crazy. I haven't heard anyone say that, but that's crazy to me because the stat is
Really?
like it's like 10% of the human population has utilized ChatGPT, which like is so. I mean, some people are like that's massive.
So
it is, but
level.
it's
yeah,
exactly. We're still so early on that adoption curve.
I agree.
John, you had mentioned earlier your colleague that he was adopting your framework. Can you talk more about that framework that y'all use?
Yeah, it's funny because I don't think the framework that I present in that course, it's a 2-day, 8-hour course, and we go over it's really more of just an entrepreneurship course, but it's on, hyperspeed mode or on steroids, whatever you want to say. It's the principles are the same. The way that the course goes is we start off by kind of exploring some of what's possible. We kind of get people vibe coding really quickly. Most of the time they haven't. And I'll usually have them open up like Grok or something and like vibe code a game or something like, hey, make Tetris or something, Anyway, and people that have never coded before used AI, they're like, holy cow, I just made a game, right? And so I kind of unlock their brain a little bit. And then we dive into learning how to use ChatGPT as a thought partner to help you figure out and build a plan. A lot of people they'll jump right into Bolt or Lovable or Replit or Base 44 or whatever it is, and they'll say, build me a site that does this. And then they try to kind of figure it out as they go. But I back people up and I say, no, look, you got to really make a plan. Tell ChatGPT about your idea. Ask it to ask you questions so that you can really do this, and then have it put together a 2,000 word business plan or whatever. Now take that business plan and hand it to Replit. Okay, now you're going to get something. It understands why that button needs to be there. It understands, you're going for a subscription model, and so we should model this that way, and we should structure the database to be this and that and whatever, right? And so if you think ahead and you plan ahead, then you're going to get a better product. Now, the traditional game of entrepreneurship, let's go back before the days of it, the good old days of AI. The smarter way to do it would be to follow something called a lean canvas, right? Where you really try to validate the idea before you go spend a bunch of money to build it, right? Plenty of examples of people that spent, $10 million and then they had no customers and the company flops, right? With AI, that doesn't count anymore. You can for $100, you can have a working product that is good enough to get your first paying customer, right? Maybe your first 10 paying customers. You might lose those customers. It's possible, right? But that's okay. You're going to learn from that. But you can build, launch, and literally within days have feedback on how to do that. And if you're smart, you don't have to lose those customers either. You can build something that they love, that works, that's really going to be really impactful, and then get it in front of people that are paying, and you're validated. And now you go from there to, okay, great, let's expand, let's get more customers, let's just rinse and repeat this, right? Let's hire Connor and figure out how to do paid ads and go and make this happen. So we just kind of go through that process, and we'll go over maybe 12 to 15 platforms during the course that show ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, some of the basics there, Gemini, of course. And then, things like Replit, we'll go over, Mid-Journey, Runway, we'll go through Flow sometimes. And, so we're looking at images, at video, at marketing, at strategy, at software development, even things like Canva, right? And just to show how you can use AI, maybe you use Mid-Journey to make this awesome image, and then use Canva to help you with the layout and whatever. And boom, hey, you've got a beautiful post ready to go. Or maybe use Gamma, so use Manus for different agentic flows and things like that help you. That can be your secretary. So I kind of show people how to use. I show them how I was able to go from 0 to 1 million basically solo by using AI as my employees. Right, Replit's my developer, Manus is my secretary or my researcher, and Grok is also part of my research because I can have it search X and what's going on and what are the trends and what are people talking about, and so. The principles of entrepreneurship haven't really changed. They're just accelerated. And the barriers to entry for entrepreneurship have been dramatically lowered. You don't have to go raise $100,000 to prove that your model even works, that your software can even be done, right? Or have to go find a CTO that believes in your vision and then work for 6 grueling months, nights and weekends to get it to come to life. Like, you can do it in a day now. And that just, it compresses that whole thing. And you can just get the thing that I think so many people still are forgetting, they'll build this cool thing, but then they wait months or never even get to saying, hey, is anyone willing to give me money for this? Entrepreneurship is about creating a business, and a business needs money. It needs money to operate. Money is liability.
Like, what do you tell your students, or even for yourself? Like, what do you do in those first 30 days that make strangers trust you enough to pay them for a brand new product? And a part of my brain's like, well, it's just the value of what the product's providing, right? But there's got to be something more to that.
Tell everyone, right? I mean, that's honestly the biggest thing, right? Like, this guy's got it right? Gary V, this book, Day Trading Attention. I mean, just the concept of day trading attention, right? Like, everyone's doing other things. They have their business, they have their families, they have their whatever, their problems, their debts, their whatever, their vacations, and they're just thinking about so many other things. And so a lot of people think, man, I don't want to tell people my idea because it's just not quite right yet. And what if someone steals it? And like, that is the fastest way to kill your business, is to just not tell anybody about it. The best way for people to not find out about you is to never tell anyone. And you just got to, I posted about, when I launched this GenAIPI thing, I posted about it probably 5 times a day on Facebook, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn. Across all those platforms. And some posts land on deaf ears, whatever, I don't care. And then some went viral and got picked up and eventually landed, on Joe Rogan. Cool, right? So but the point is, you just have to tell everybody about it. Build in public is the best advice you can have today, right? People just don't have time. They don't have time for their own ideas, right? How many of you guys, let's just do a poll here, right? We got 4 people on here. I'm going to say yes already, but I bet out of these 3, we get 3 for 3. How many of you guys have thought of a cool business idea while you were in the shower?
Well, 100%. Yeah.
All right. And it's because our brain, when we're in the shower, just has this, we've got time, right? You don't have to think while the water's falling on you, or even while you're shampooing your hair. Your mind can kind of wander and come up with ideas. And then I'll ask this: how many of you guys forgot about that idea the second you got out of the shower and you had to put on your underwear and get to work, right?
Yeah.
And it's because life just hits you again, right? Your wife or your spouse or your kids or your idea or your Facebook post or your boss or whatever it is, right? Something just takes your mind away and now you're back into it. And so even your own ideas that are so cool and probably very good, you don't follow up. And entrepreneurship is about coming up with an idea and then pushing it relentlessly for a long time, right? Yep. You have consistently for, months and then years and even decades for some companies, right? And it just doesn't just magically happen. So that's why I'm never, ever worried. I could give anyone and everyone, I'll post them on LinkedIn. Here are all of my best business ideas. And I bet nobody would ever do them because they just don't even have time for their own ideas, let alone yours.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it comes down to, right? It's like, if I had a nickel for every time I've come up with something, and it's either while I'm ready to go to sleep or, right, like I'm getting up and showering, I'm brushing my teeth, right? Great idea. Let me write it down. I'll even write these down, John, and like send it to myself. Before you know it, it just gets so down in the inbox, and I come across it 2 months later. I'm like, oh, that was a nice idea at the time, but I don't have time for this, right? It's just such a missed opportunity, such a great call out.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I have, and I do it too, right? Like, it's not like I'm not guilty of this for sure, right? I've followed up with a few ideas, and that's why I've started a few companies, and that's cool. But yeah, if you look at my notes, I have idea after idea after idea where I'm just like, that would be cool. That'd be really awesome. That would be really valuable.
Yeah.
But we have our lives, and we have, we only have one. We only have one. We only have 24 hours in a day, unfortunately, and we have to choose how we spend those days.
You can only launch so many ideas, but imagine 5 to 10 years from now when you'll be able to launch multiple ideas at once, and now you're just cranking it out.
I know.
Maybe that's where we'll be headed.
And what does the world look like if just us 4 on this call each have 15 businesses? Right?
That's crazy, actually.
Kind of running themselves, right? With agents and swarms and people, like really to the point where agents really are running the business. They're setting up ads, they're launching campaigns, they're monitoring, they're constantly adjusting and changing. They're, coming up with strategies and figuring out new sales tactics and building, materials and posting automatically on social. What does the world look like? If everyone can do that, is there so much that because I don't know. I'm just thinking
No, it's a great question because I was actually going to ask you, like, how do you think
does
the
the
AI
world work?
landscape will change, or how will the world change too? I think I saw a post, John, that you mentioned Elon bringing up something about I forgot, but just
Yeah, like universal high income.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it's like if we do have all these agents running all these businesses for us, are we actually going to be in a reality where we don't have to be as productive? Therefore, we'll have more time to invest in other parts of life. I would like to believe that's true, but I'm not entirely sure. But that would be cool if it would actually do that in the future.
Problem is when you let's take just the concept of universal basic income, which I think has the same problems as universal high income. And I know why he says that. And look, if today it costs $1,000 to, harvest 1,000 units of wheat, right? I'm not gonna, whatever, right? Just to use that. And then because of AI and robotics, now it only costs $100 to harvest 1,000 units of wheat, right? Okay, good. That definitely points to a future where nobody's hungry, right? There's more abundance. It costs less. There's more. So theoretically, we should be able to feed everyone. We should be able to house everyone. But then I think you run into some really, really rough societal problems where you don't require a purpose. What if everything's just taken care of for you?
That's crazy to me.
It is, and there's actually been some smart people, and I wish I could pull out the reference and who said it, but there's actually been some studies done where if unemployment gets to 20% in any given society, society completely unravels, right? Because people they don't have that purpose. There's enough people that don't have a purpose that they then start to turn towards vices that then cause bad things. Right? Whatever those vices are, pick your vice. There's a ton of them out there. But there's real societal problems when you get to a point where everyone's basic needs are met to the point where you really can just Netflix and chill all day if that's what you want to do.
So it's about how do we reinvent purpose to some extent, because I think having a sense of purpose is one of the many things that as humans, like, we need that. So what is the replacement of that? So to your point, John, we're not all in our vices all day, every day. I wonder what that could look like.
So I'm working on a new website for me at myjoncheney.com, just the one about me. Right now, if you go there, it's just my piano music and that's fun, but it's going to expand a little bit. And I've already worked on a bunch of vibe coded a beautiful website, but it's all about creativity. That's kind of what it centers around. I actually really love creativity and creation. And I have this phrase, I think that creativity is humanity's superpower. I think that is what we are meant to do. Whether we're creating a business or we're creating a memory or creating a friend or creating another human or creating a piece of music or writing a book, creating whatever it is, like art, and it's everything we do. And now I want you to think about those kind of things I just talked about. And now I want you guys to think about in your life, how did you feel when you were in the process of creation, right? If you're sitting there writing a book or writing a song, or creating a memory on a vacation or creating whatever, right? It's hard to think to those experiences and find sadness in there, right? Now, sometimes sadness can spark creativity, but that creativity usually kind of soothes that sadness. I really believe that part of our, God-given purpose is to create. And so with that in mind, if we are no longer required to create in order to produce an income, how many people will just stop that and lose their purpose, right? And so we got to keep creation alive, right? Even if AI can make music with Suno and can make beautiful art with 1,000 different, Gemini or Midjourney or whatever, and take a pick, we can't let AI dominate that and take that away from us. We have to find ways to continue to create, and that will allow us to find our pathway. That's why I love, people like Elon who just have these ridiculous goals of, hey, we're going to go colonize Mars, right? That gives a purpose that for the next 100 or 200 years is going to keep us busy. right? And anyone that wants a purpose can go work towards, hey, I'm going to go to the stars. I'm going to go to Mars. I'm going to go help with the moon base. I'm going to help cure cancer, whatever. We have to keep doing that. We can't let AI take that creation away from us.
So I was reading on your LinkedIn that you are a chief piano player, which I've never read anyone call themselves that, and I'm obsessed and I love it. And I wanted to ask you, like, how does being a piano player for so many years and creating music and being creative, like, how does that help fuel your business and what you're doing as an entrepreneur?
The piano for me has always been something I've enjoyed. Like my parents never had to, get after me and say, hey, go play the piano, go practice, right? In fact, I used it as an escape a little bit. My mom would, like, if I knew there were dishes to be done, I'd go sit down at the piano, and she would never pull me away from the piano and be like, hey, get off the piano, go do the dishes, That was something she just like, if he's playing, I'm going to let him play.
It was a real smart move there, Jon.
Good move.
Yeah, it was a smart move by her. And I'm grateful that she did that, right? And it's become something that just allows me to express myself in a different way. I just feel a lot of peace when I'm at the piano, right? And so I play every day. Sometimes it's 20 minutes, sometimes it's an hour and a half. But I do it every day. I write music, and it just, I don't know. It kind of lets I'm a guy that likes to look for patterns in things, and music is a pattern, right? And it also, I think music is a really, really cool way to receive inspiration, whether you're listening to it or creating it, right? But I really believe that I'm a person of faith, and I love when I'm sitting at the piano and just this melody comes to my mind, and I'm like, man, I didn't make that up. Like, that came from somewhere. And then I can make it, be real, and then I can share it with the world, right? And I know many people do that through their own means. Whether, like, if give me a paintbrush or a pencil and ask me to draw something, and I'm in stick figure land, I can't do that. But other people can do that with that. Other people are amazing at writing. Other people are amazing at acting, and all kinds of other things. But music is the one that really, really grounds me, and just keeps my creative juices flowing. And again, creativity and creation, the process of creation, makes us happy, and that gives me the energy I need to go and work hard at the business side, which isn't always super fun, right? Like when I have to, I love vibe coding. Vibe coding is crazy fun because it is creation to me, right? I've got this partner that can like do anything I can imagine, right? Again, not to get too religious here, but for those of you that have read the Bible, how did God create the world? With His words, right? He spoke and it was, right? And we can almost do that now. We can speak to our AI and it creates for us, right? And so we get to experience. Now, it's nowhere near the magnanimity of that, of God. I'm not saying we're that, but we get to kind of approach that this tiny little sliver of experiencing, hey, I can speak, and all of a sudden something is there. And I think that that's going to continue to get better and better. Right now we can vibe code, we can speak into existence an app, or a little, whatever, a website, and maybe even enterprise SaaS if you know what you're doing, right? But what happens when you can speak and, landscape your yard with a bunch of robots that are listening to you, or like build a skyscraper with robots through AI? Like we're getting into some cool places where we can use words to create, and other things go and actually make it happen. It's kind of cool.
Cool stuff. So back to your organization and what you teach and everything. Let's say you've got a student and they've got a great idea, go through the framework and everything. What do you recommend? What do you teach for customer acquisition other than tell everybody?
Yeah.
First 60 days, pardon me.
Yeah, the tell everybody really is the first 60 days. I'm telling people to post constantly. Like, it really is such a big part. I will always, try to figure out what my message is and then throw on some ads as well, right? I'll go into, Meta and just kind of see how it lands, see what people say, and just boost some things. I like to boost stuff on LinkedIn as well. But I just like to get it out there and see what people say and see what the detractors say, and, try to talk to them. And I actually love hearing negative feedback. Negative feedback is
some of the best feedback you can get.
Totally. And it's so, a lot of people are like, yeah, but this, and they just want to argue. But no, like, hey, please help me understand why you're saying that. I appreciate this
Yep.
this negative feedback. And if you do that, that person all of a sudden, even though they were negative, becomes your friend. And they want to tell you like, hey, this would resonate better with me if you positioned it this way or whatever, right? And so I love to use ads to get my message out there in front of a wide range of people so that I can start to understand that. And then you just got to tweak, right? That's the big thing. Is you might be super smart and you might think that your AI is super smart and it will definitely tell you that you're super smart. But the reality is it doesn't know everything. It's still just kind of guessing and estimating. And so you got to do this constant, like quick pivots, right? So your messaging will be out there. It won't land well. It won't land perfect, or it lands kind of okay. But then you got to actually be willing to take that feedback, change it, relaunch, right? Go in and edit, get V2 out, V3 out, V4 out. A lot of people put V1 and it just doesn't work very well. And people kind of like it. And then it's like, yeah, it didn't work. That's crazy. No, I think any idea can work as long as you're willing to listen to your customers. Listen to that first thing, put it out there, whether you're doing it with social or paid or whatever it is. And then listen and iterate, actually put the effort in more than just that first, hey, I built a business in a weekend with AI. Yeah, but then I also worked at it every day for the next, year, right? That's how you really do that. Another hack that I like to do that I think is really cool is, especially if you've got a cool idea and a cool angle, and you can come up with a cool angle on it, but your local news stations and newspapers and websites they're always looking for stories. And all the stories are like, yeah, so-and-so got stabbed and a dog bit them. And, no one really wants to read that, but they write about it because, people are there, right? They want to hear about the story. But if you can come in with this really cool angle. So I had this, hey, I built a business in a weekend with AI, right? And whatever. And so I went to my local news stations. I've been on the news twice now. I've been in like 5 articles locally or whatever. And each of those has brought me customers.
It's awesome.
Right? It's free. It's totally free. You just have to go out and be like, hey, I have a story to tell.
Yeah.
And someone's going to then say, oh, that's a cool story. I think.
And it's about also telling the right story, which I spend a lot of time with founders trying to be like, they're like, we need a pitch to press to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, but like, what's the story, right? Yes. Because you got to land that. But I love the idea of starting with local press, especially in the tech space too, because like Utah is not the place to, it's not like known as a tech sort of world. So for you to kind of have that background and story, like that's super unique.
100%. And there's always a story. There's always an angle, right? And whether you're in the tech hub of San Francisco or not, you can, there's just this, hey, this guy's going to try to do this. And here's why it's a big deal. And here's how it's going to impact the world. And you tell enough people, right? By the way, I'll pitch the story to like 10 people and one person picks it up. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You can't just be like, oh, I really want to be on ABC. And okay, well, maybe that person doesn't need your story, or they didn't see your inbox, or they got 20 other pitches and they picked another one. And so, but all of these stations have, a news desk email. It's really easy to get a hold of them and just be like, hey, I've got a story. Almost every time I write them, when I'm like, and here's the other thing. Once you've gotten past that first time, you reach out to the news desk and they respond like, hey, this is cool. Or, hey, you know what? Thank you for reaching out. We're going to pass this time, but keep sending us stuff. You actually will get some relationships started there, right? Where you can then, like, I've got a guy now. If I need a video news story, I can be like, hey, I've got a story for you, and here's the angle. And he'll be like, how do we make it more exciting? Do you have could you pull someone in that did this or that experienced it, and how can we make it really good? And so we'll like I'll collaborate with this guy now, and he'll bring his camera crew out to my house and sit here and film me. And boom, I've got a message out, and it's
such
totally
a great
free.
Angle.
He does his job because he's got a cool story. He's excited. There's a relationship there. It's anyway. You just have to not be afraid to just get out there. Tell people.
That's like the PR that I think people just miss. It's like everyone, I think, even me, I think PR, I'm like, okay, national scale, right? I'm going to get national coverage. And it's the locality play on that is just so smart.
Hey, John, what happened? Maybe this was 4 months ago. I want to say it was before Thanksgiving. I think a producer at CNN reached out to you and called you like a capitalist scumbag or something, but wanted to have you on. What's the story with that? What happened? Like A to Z. What happened with that?
Speaking of the media. Yeah, no, it was someone from CNN, and it's really interesting. I can't 100% verify that it was real. And here's why I say that. I got this message, and it was just sent through my contact us form on the website, right? And it was from CNN, but it said their name and it had their email address even. because I require that on my form. You have to, you got to tell them who you are. And I don't know, maybe they could have put in someone else's information. But I looked up the person, and they were actually a producer, like a junior producer for CNN. And I responded to them, and they never got back, right? Oh. But yeah, they were just like, yeah, you're a capitalist scumbag that's, AI is going to ruin the whole world, and you're just pushing this terrible technology that's going to just destroy everything. I was like, hey, I'd love to have that argument with you on TV. Like, let's talk, right?
Toe to toe,
because I can certainly talk through that one. But yeah, anyway, that was all it was. And I don't know, maybe they were having a bad day. I don't really get offended by that stuff.
Okay. Funny story though. So Jon, quick question. I mean, we kind of talked, right? Initial growth strategy, like what you do from an acquisition perspective. Like once you get past a certain point or threshold, like do you put all of your eggs into a certain basket? Like do you see, Meta is like your premier platform to pull things in? Is it Google? Is it SEO? Or is it you're just consistently doing the same thing as you said, like posting on LinkedIn, X, like just getting your name out there?
No, you know what? I've found for me personally that LinkedIn is the place to hang out, right?
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting most of my clients have been inbound, right? I have done some outbound, but even just boosting the right posts, like that Joe Rogan post, I just showing a little clip of, Amjad talking about me on Joe Rogan. People are like, wow, this is legit. And people, when they see Joe Rogan, when they see that kind of setting, that interview that they recognize, it just adds a little bit more, credibility. And this is part, guys, why that local news coverage is super, super important. These clips, what channels are working? These clips are from the news, from Joe Rogan, a clip from an article, right? That lends credibility. All of a sudden, even though I'm this new company, right? I've got real people that are established that have already built trust. I get to borrow their trust and push that out. And so I'll take those assets that I get by pushing myself out there and just being loud and looking bigger than I am. And then I just kind of become that, right? You just kind of have to act. So there's a little bit of fake it till you make it, right? You kind of just have to act like you are what you want to be. And, hey, what would I do if I had 100 employees and I was this big institute and I had thousands of customers and whatever? How would I act? What kind of things would I post? What would I talk about? And if I start acting like that, people are like, oh, this guy must have that. So, let's hire him. These are the guys. I mean, here's a perfect example. I built this proficiency test that's supposed to look at, how good are you, measure your proficiency with AI. And I had a government in Australia reach out to me and say, hey, we see you seem to have kind of the industry leading, proficiency test for AI. Can you help us out and do all this? And, so I have like governments reaching out to me and asking me to measure them because I'm the General AI Proficiency Institute. And it was just honestly because of the name, and part of my branding went into the .org as well. Right?
Oh, smart. Yeah.
Is I just feel more like an institution as opposed to some dude in his basement, right?
I think there's way more trust there with the word institute, using the .org component, and then knowing that there's so many tools out in the ecosystem and that you're kind of playing ball and learning and understanding and utilizing sort of all of them too. Dang. So I'm curious, how, I know we've talked a little bit about how you think society and a sense of purpose could change in the next, decade or so with AI. What do you see sort of happening in the space this year? What are you really excited about? What do you think that's upcoming that will really sort of benefit your business from an AI perspective?
Agents, and more agents. That is 2026. There's a really cool stat. Over the last 6 years, it's followed this pattern where every 7 months, the amount of time an agent can work by itself and get something right more than 50% of the time doubles, right? So to just reiterate that, it has to be given a task, and then it has to complete that task correctly at least 50% of the time, right? If not more. Okay. It used to be, it could answer a question correctly, right? Assuming it's not hallucinating. At this point, it's pretty dang good at getting like a question right? But it's actually at the point now where it can work for about 20 minutes without, and get it right 50% of the time. And in some fields, it can work even longer than that. But 7 months from now, that will be 40 minutes. And 7 months after that, that'll be 80 minutes. And then it'll be 160 minutes. And then it'll be 6 hours. And then it'll be 12 hours. And then 24 hours. And then in not very long after that, in just, 4 or 5 years, we're going to have agents that literally can, as we were talking about earlier, run those 15 businesses for us.
Yeah.
Completely autonomously. They'll spin up swarms of agents to do things, and they'll do all kinds of stuff. I don't know if you saw over the weekend, there was who was it? Was it Cursor? It might have been Cursor. Basically, they kind of set it up to autonomously build a new web browser with 3 million lines of code, and it did the whole thing, and completely autonomously. 3 million lines of code. That is crazy, and breaks through a lot of FUD that has been put on coding. Like, oh yeah, it can never do big stuff.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have the context. It can't remember what's going on in one place. But no, they built this system that could actually build something out like that, and that's only going to get better and better and better. But agents are going to increasingly be part of our lives, both in a software environment, and also 2026 is the year when I will have a robot cleaning my house.
All right. That I saw. So, what's that robot that everyone's been
the Neo?
The Neo.
Yeah. So you've got the Neo, and that's if as long as you're willing to throw down 20 grand right now, you can get it this year. And if you want to pay $500 a month for it, then you can do that. Now, the people that were just vacuuming that you just heard that in the other room, those are people that we hire. Right. And they come a couple times a month, and we pay them probably $350 each time to come and clean, a fairly substantial house with, 4 kids that, despite our best efforts, don't clean up everything that they should. So anyway, we have to pay someone to I moved here about 4 years ago, and I live on a 5-acre farm, and the house here was built like 30 years ago. So it's a little bit older, but it's big. It's 8,300 square feet. It's a lot of work to take care of. And I can't remember a time when my house was organized and clean in every room and all the weeds were pulled outside. It's impossible. It's so much work. And I have to pay, for the grounds, we pay about $2,000, $2,500 a month to have people take care of it, especially during the summer months and things like that. The winter's a little bit easier, but then, the house, we're paying $700-800 a month, right? Yeah. People are like, well, I can't afford a robot. Yes, you can. You're already paying more than that, right? And by the way, I think $350 to have the people that we're getting a deal. Like, people pay a lot more than that, especially in big cities and stuff like that. I'm like out in the country. There's no way I'm getting that paid. Again, I'm only paying $700 a month for that, and just for twice a month for them to just kind of help us catch up a little bit. But a lot of people pay way more than that. But if Neo or Optimus or whatever robot, you decide to land on, can really clean up and again, be an agent for itself to think through, okay, this room is not organized. I need to organize it. I know that the toys go in that bucket over there, and I've been taught that this is happening. I need to make sure I vacuum, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to dust. And it can physically go and do that and think for itself and work through those tasks. Oh my goodness. That is going to change the world.
I'm a little skeptical on how well it will work this year. So I
think it's going to be terrible this year.
Your review. Yeah, I think it will be too.
I think it will be very fun. It'll be fun to show how bad it is in the beginning.
It will be. It'll
and
get
then
you some,
to be like, hey guys, it got it right. It got this right. Maybe I'll teach it how to play the piano a little bit. I don't know. But
I love that.
Anyway, I'm excited for agents. 2026 is the year of agents, and obviously tons of software agents, but also agents starting to come to life.
As we wrap up here, Jon, last question. Your thoughts that we're in an AI bubble for this year?
Yeah, we're not. We're not. There's natural, market up and downs and things like that. And people are saying, oh, OpenAI is going to go out of business because they have to raise $14 billion. They're going to go down. Sam Altman can raise $14 billion in his sleep. Yeah. There's no question. He has like 800 million users.
He also doesn't have any equity in the company.
Right. And there's, Elon suing for $134 billion. So we'll see how that goes. That could cause, I don't know. And, there's some real teeth to that one. So we'll see how that all comes out. But there's a lot of reasons why people are saying we're in an AI bubble. They think that, okay, we can't produce enough hardware fast enough, And we're about to get to the first replacement cycle for a lot of things where we're going to have to, we've built all this up and now we have to buy it all again because AI is just burning through these GPUs and these different systems. But, Jensen Huang from NVIDIA got up just at CES and showed these ridiculous new processors and chips and sensors that can last for decades. And they operate, at a much lower temperature, at room temperature, without even needing to be cooled with water. And, we're solving those problems that people are like, oh, this is what AI is going to do. The problem is people take today's problems and extrapolate them into the future without accounting for progress. And yeah, you're right. If things continue forever as they are today, it will fail. But they're not. We're using AI to solve these problems even, right? We're tackling
and we've
these
been
guys
able, we've been able to show progress and like there's the like generative AI and just right, like what images looked like 2 years ago versus now.
It's
like,
crazy.
It's insane, right? So like the progress
day.
is clear, like in the last few years, like it's happening.
It is. And there's also new models that we haven't even hardly touched yet. Like, for example, the way that robots learn and that Neo is being trained. If you watch the latest Neo video where it says, hey, we didn't teach him anything. We gave him new tasks and asked him to do something. And based on its knowledge of the world and how the world works, like, for example, gravity is a thing. If you drop something, it's going to fall. You teach it how the world works, and then it learns like a human does, right? And that's called a world model, right? So world models are different than the LLMs, which most models are working off of right now. World models are right at the beginning, and the amount of progress we're going to see when you combine the learning capabilities of robotics plus AI and the world models and how the world works, it's going to be really, really cool. And then you obviously get to meld that together with all of the progress with LLMs and capacitors and how everything works today. And then there's even some cool fringe stuff that's starting to happen where they're starting to bring like actual like live tissues in that help train the AI. Like they connect like live organisms or whatever to technology and then help it learn. There's so much. We're just getting started, guys. We're just scratching the surface. And we're not in an AI bubble. Will we have a correction or two? Sure, but I don't think it's because AI is in a bubble. I think AI is growing incredibly fast, and I still think it is speeding up. I don't think we're plateauing. I think we're just right at the beginning here.
Cool stuff. Cool. You'd be the guy to know. Well, Jon, appreciate you being on, taking your time. And where can our listeners find you and your organization?
Yeah. Hey, look, I post every day on LinkedIn. Some of the posts you mentioned today, I just like to talk about things. By the way, I love to be social, but I don't want AI to do the social for me. So I don't have AI write anything for me.
Cool.
Everything you see on my
really?
LinkedIn,
Cool.
every word is me sitting there thinking, how should I do this? Right.
Mm-hmm.
If I use AI, it's a spell check. If I get like a really long post, I'll just be like, hey, make sure I didn't make any errors. But I specifically will say, don't change anything.
Yeah.
And I'll even sometimes say, tell me where the error is. I'll fix it. Like, cause I want it to be my writing. I like to write too. Again, I love that creation, that creation process. That's interesting to me. So follow me on LinkedIn, Jon Cheney, Jon Cheney, Cheney. And then, you'll find links to my, my websites and different things there, but GenAIPI.org. If you want to engage at a professional level, happy to do that. If you want to watch me kayak or play the piano, then go find me on Instagram. At Cheney Piano is usually at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, whatever. That's my handle, at Cheney Piano. But yeah, anyway, I love connecting to people and learning from others, especially, like I said, those who might disagree with me. I love talking through and understanding why you might think something, because it makes me smarter when I have to figure out how to answer you.
Cool. Okay.
I love that.
Thanks for being on, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jon.
Thanks so much. Hey guys, Connor here with Builders Growth Lab. If you're looking for a way to stay up to date on the latest news, trends, topics in AI and marketing, look no further. Visit us at buildersgrowthlab.ai and sign up for our newsletter today. In it, you'll find quick takeaways from our latest show, as well as simple tips on how to market your app. That's buildersgrowthlab.ai. Sign up today.
All right, we're back. We're back with from talking with Jon. What a fun conversation.
Cool dude, great guy.
What are we thinking?
Man, he is his company's buzzing. He's all over LinkedIn. Man, he's got some big things coming this year. So that was
super
a great
smart. One thing I took away from it, and there's a few things he said, but he just seems like very, very organized, which I love. I'm a very organized person, right? And why I say that too is there was one thing he mentioned about oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the exact thing, where it was like before you go over and hop from platform to platform, right? Like have like a full fledged
plan, essentially, like
plan.
a business
Yeah,
plan.
yeah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put it together. Thanks, Mallory. Of like plan put together before you put something into a Replit or a Lovable or somewhere else, right? Because, and I didn't bring it up because I just didn't want to interrupt the flow, but it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I even do this, right? Where I'll try and throw something in there, but I feel like I waste so much time with the back and forth of like, no, you're not getting this right. You didn't understand like conceptually what I was thinking, but it's like, that's not the AI's fault. That's on me to tell the AI, right? So I thought it was just a really valid call out that I think a lot of people miss, because it's like, yeah, you can hop in there and say anything and it'll produce it. But if you're not giving it the right contextual, clues it needs to do it and giving it the proper direction, you're going to waste probably an extra 3, 4, 5 hours just trying to get that piece right, instead of taking the 1 hour it takes to sit down, get your plan right, put it all together, and then go ahead and move forward with starting the build. So just made me feel like it's very, very organized in that sense. It was a really good tip, I think, for a lot of people out there.
I think that he is, sorry, Charlie, I was just going to say, like, super intentional with his decision making and just the things he does in his life. Like, it feels like, intentional, organized, but so self-assured in what he's doing and what he believes in. And I think that's really important. And then the one other thing, too, that I thought was interesting was just his sort of thoughts around how, in the next few years, like we're really meant to be creative and be creating. I mean, in general, regardless of the future, right? Like we should be doing that in the present moment. But I thought his opinions there were really interesting. So, and the fact that he doesn't think we're in an AI bubble is really contrary, like to what a lot of other folks in the space think. So, but he feels very sure about that, right? So I like his self-assuredness and his creative sort of output. That was really interesting.
I like his emphasis on iterate. Your product from day one is not going to be like, once it's validated, of course, and you get some traction, it's not going to be the same as like 90 days later. So iterate.
You know what that reminded me of, Charlie? Elevate, for some reason. Granted, we weren't using AI, but it just reminded me of when we worked on Elevate together, of just, you'd roll out V2 and you're like, this is great, but while V2's rolled out, you already had plans for V3, right? And you're already talking about what V4 is going to look like. So it's that constant iteration, just perfecting what you already have.
Yeah, I think no, he's great. Great dude to have on. Maybe we'll have him on later this year, but man, things are buzzing for him.
All right. Well, that brings us to something really important we're doing this weekend, which the three of us are going to Breckenridge to meet one another, shoot content, bond,
bully
and
each
all of
other.
that, bully each other, right? All of those things. So I think we're really looking forward to it. But I think Charlie and Connor, you two have known each other for a really long time, and this will be the first time you guys are meeting in person, right?
Yeah. I don't know what it is, like because I've met so many people. I mean, this is all COVID, really, when you go that far back, right? I've met so many wonderful colleagues and just people that I've worked with from COVID, right? And now it's just this day and age where remote is such a common thing, where you just don't get that person-to-person connection. So it's like being able to do something like this is awesome, because then you really get to kind of meet the person, really get to know them, kind of take that. I mean, Charlie, it's like you're a friend at this point, right? It's like we just haven't worked together. I mean, we've had conversations on everything from personal life to how our jobs are going and all that stuff. So being able to actually meet in person I'm looking forward to. And I wish I did do it more often with some other people in my life, but this will be a great trip. I'm really happy.
You're starting now.
Yeah. So this will be fun. This will be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. So here's what I have in my head. I'm picturing, when I swoop you degenerates up, I'm picturing Connor in sweatpants, and he's got the headphones around his neck. And then I'm picturing Mallory in like big glasses, like the big, like the big.
I do have really
glasses.
Big sunglasses.
And then she's like, "Get the fuck out of my way!" She's like telling somebody, like she's like walking, like.
It's so funny that you say that.
Like beeline to the curb of where the car is.
When we were on vacation, I was wearing these big sunglasses. My dad's like, I don't think those are big enough. They're like,
Oh, really?
like, I don't want anyone to look at me or see my face. So,
No,
so you kind of got that right a little bit.
Okay.
That's interesting. I like
it's
it.
not sweatpants, Charlie. They're travel joggers.
Are they
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
exactly.
do you do public rec? Do you do Lululemon? Like where do you buy yours from? Because I have like about 8 or 9 pairs.
Amazon.
Amazon?
Like,
Okay.
I don't know. No, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. Bare Bottom actually is typically where I get most of my stuff from. And then there's this company, Wowie, that they make amazing shorts and amazing like pants for men. So I usually buy them all from there. So that's typically where most of
you
the stuff
guys
is.
should also check out Viore.
Oh, I like
I have
Viore
not
too. I've had
tried
some
them.
stuff from them. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
really nice.
Is it good?
Very comfortable.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, they're really good.
I'm wearing a pair right now of public rec pants. Well, they're like travel.
Never heard of
but
Public Rec.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it's good. It's like the athleisure material. Actually, I'm wearing their jacket.
Oh,
too.
interesting. But no, honestly, sometimes like actually, I think I just did it. Like workout pants, and it's like I go through workout pants like once a year where I'm like, I don't like these anymore. It's not because they don't fit, or I'm just like, I don't like them anymore. So I literally just try and be as economic as possible with things like that. I'm not a big labels person with clothing. It's not for me.
You don't want to know how much I love shopping. I'm not like a designer girl.
I'm not
Like
either.
I don't need like, but I do like to spend a lot of money on nice things that I know that will last me. It's less about the brand. It's more about, is this of quality? Is the material quality?
sure.
Like that to me. And if it's pricier, like I'm willing to pay for that. So less about the logo, but more about the quality, I think is important for me. And typically that means it's just more. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Which we'll get to a good point in pricing in our AI last week from Mark Andreessen.
Yeah. Yep.
Very good point. So anyway, all that to say, looking forward to seeing you guys.
It'll be fun. I
Friday
think we're going to
morning.
record.
man.
We're going to record a few episodes and
Might
shoot
get
some
weird.
content while we're there. So might get
Might
weird.
get a little weird. Might get a little weird.
It'll
It's all
be
good.
fun. I think it'll be a good time. So stay tuned for that. But now the next thing we're going to dive into, which is my favorite segment, is poopy pants.
I miss this so much
this
last year.
is-
Yes.
You have no idea. I wanted an event so bad, and I just couldn't do it where I was. I was like, damn, I miss poopy pants. But
okay, this segment, for those of you who have not heard, is where we talk about the shit that just kind of pisses us off. And it could be in the world of AI and marketing, or it could just be something that we're dealing with in our general lives. So let's have Charlie go first. What's giving you poopy pants?
What gives me poopy pants? So I go to the gym the other morning. It snowed. Okay, benefit of the doubt, it was snowing, but when people can't park, when they park, like here, again, if you're
like between the lines.
yes, if you can't park, even
Yeah.
when it's dry, like there's no snow on the ground, I see people parking like this, and so like I try and pull in, but the car is like over the horizontal line, and it's like that. I'm like, what the like I
Charlie,
lose
if
my
you have
mind.
kids and they can't color in the lines, you're gonna be like, what are you doing? Color in the lines.
No, I would, because I was that guy. I would just take my crayon and just like
Oh my
I'm
God.
kidding.
yeah, I was totally that guy. But anyway, people that just can't park, and for like I'm the guy that can like put it in reverse and like back into a spot. Like I'm
Do you back
yeah.
up all the time? Are you that guy?
not all the time, but my parking, I have a space here at my place, and like I always back into it just so I can just buzz.
Yeah.
Unless I'm
To
going
easily buzz out. Yeah.
yeah, unless I'm playing hockey because I have to load up my gear. But yeah, generally, I know it just says a lot about a person when you leave. Every other car in the lot is
Says a lot about a
perfectly
person.
in the middle of the lines,
Yeah.
and then your car is like cocked to the side. It's like,
Yeah, that's weird. That's
what the hell is
No.
that? Like who?
especially
does
if
that?
it's
Who
taking up
leaves
another
it?
space. Like that's
You're an
illegal.
absolute donkey. Like
What
that's
if,
the
like, you're in the-
definition of a donkey.
You're a donkey, says. What if you're in like the back? You guys can tell I'm already justifying how I park. What if you're in the
Oh.
back of a parking lot where there's nobody around? And you're like, yo, I'm just trying to like Home Depot, for example, has the biggest parking lot in the world by me. And I'm like, I can walk to the door. I don't need to be right next to it. So I will just park, the furthest back that I can. And sometimes I cross over the line a little bit, but it's like, no one's going to be over here. No
I
big
mean,
deal.
if there's no one over there, it's like, it's
Yeah.
probably fine. But
That
like
borderline
It's
maybe
more
you make
when
that a habit Do you make that a habit in the spots that are closer to the entrance?
When you just
no.
Yeah, when you just a selfish asshole and you just take up more spots. It's like the guy that I
hate that. When they park their Cybertruck or some shit, like I don't care if it needs 2 spots. Go drive a different car. Like, don't even drive that here. Go away.
I got poopy pants when I pulled up and I saw that. You got to be freaking kidding me. And then I don't know if y'all go to a gym that has a steam room. Guys that lay down in the steam room take up like 3 spots in the steam room.
That's annoying.
You're obnoxious. What I've never seen this, but I've heard a story where a guy walked in. So the way it's Lifetime Fitness, it's a national gym.
I'm familiar with Lifetime. It's a great gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the story that I heard that there's a guy that was laying down. He's taking up like 2 or 3 spots on the top ledge of the steam room. And one guy walked in, didn't have a spot, and the guy didn't even move. The guy was laying down, didn't realize because he's just an idiot. So the guy that walked into the room leaves the steam room, gets a cold cup of water, and throws it on him.
Oh, God.
That is unhinged.
That is savage. I love it.
Oh, my God.
That is savage. That's the story I've heard. I guess the guy's like, and he freaks out. He's like, you're just going to throw water. He's like, you're in a steam room taking up 3 spots. And like that.
But it just said something first before doing that.
That's the story I heard.
Do you mind moving? And then maybe if he was like ignorant and said nothing, okay, fine, maybe then. But I mean, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, damn, I don't think I'd have the balls to do that. But like,
I know the guy that was laying down because he does it. He's like that guy. So maybe I don't know. It just happened.
Maybe they all know that he's like that guy that does that.
Yeah. But that's what gives me poopy pants. Just selfish assholes. I can't stand it. Parking, and it's so simple.
It really is. So with that being said, Connor, what is giving you poopy pants?
I messaged you guys last week, and I will stick with it. TSA
let's hear it.
Poopy pants, because you know what? It's like there's no I pre-check. Do I pre-check? Come on now, man. I feel like everybody has pre-check these days anyway. I feel like it's like the easiest thing to get. But I have pre-check. So it's not so much that. It's when you're going through and there is no like universal thing for like laptops out. Like even with pre-check, laptops out, shoes off, shoes on, this, that. Keep your bag separate from your suitcase. Suitcase goes in a bin. It doesn't go in a bin, right? So it doesn't matter like where you go or what you do. Yeah. You're always, always, always wrong. So I was getting into it with a pre-check person when I was leaving Canada. Okay. And maybe it's different there. And again, kind of sometimes a short fuse. And they were like, oh, okay, your laptop, like laptops have to come out. Like, any big devices like that. I'm like, okay, but I have my portable charger in there. They pull my bag over to the side. They're going through it all. Like they're digging through it. And they're not digging through it respectfully. They're like taking it out, like all my clothes that are folded up. And it's like they're just placing it over. And then they just kind of give it back to you. And it's like, then they take my portable charger. It's like, well, what's this? I'm like, my portable charger. I was like, no one has ever asked me to take that out. I've been flying for the last X many years of my life. Like, does this need to be out? And I was like, and then they give you all of your shit.
Yeah. And then you have to put it back.
You can go pack it up and you're like, all right. So what gives me poopy pants is just kind of like it's kind of the empowerment these TSA agents feel, just because it's like, I get it. You could kick me out of the airport at any time, but it's like, I don't know, have some standard protocols and have a little bit of respect for people. Cause it's like, at the end of the day, we're keeping you we're giving you a job to do.
Their stuff, more importantly, have respect for that. But Connor, like every airport I go to, it's like you're right. Like their protocols on what to do when you go through the TSA lines are different. Like some of them require you to not pull your laptop out. Some of them do. Some of them, like they are all different. And I don't understand why there's not one universal sort of process across TSA in general.
What was happening, because I have TSA pre-check that usually means like you keep your shoes on, don't have to take your belt off. You can leave a hat and like leave your laptop in. Is that your guys' understanding of TSA pre-check?
Yeah.
Like you can leave your laptop in a bag. And then they're also like pressuring you when you're like, you don't have the laptop out of the bag. It's like, we told you to take it out of the bag. And then you're holding up people behind you and they make you feel like a jerk off. And it's like, guys, like, come on. So that's my poopy pants. And dude, I was getting
I know
tight.
why though, because they got to deal with dumbass people all day. So then it's just like they get jaded, but it's not an excuse, but yeah.
I was getting tight, and then I was just like, I was muttering as I left. I was like, and I'm just like not trying to say anything too loud. So
yeah. Should have thrown cold
Oh
water
my
on
God.
yeah, should have thrown cold water on him.
Oh, you definitely would have gotten kicked out of the airport.
Yeah, definitely.
At that point.
That'd be nuts.
That would be
wild.
So that was my poopy pants that I've still been holding a grudge for, and will for a while. So we'll see. Listen, TSA, you have your chance.
We about to go through it. Yeah.
Friday morning, 7 a.m. LaGuardia, you have your chance for retribution. Okay, so let's make it a good one.
All right.
Mallory, what gives you poopy pants?
Well, it's kind of in relation to sports and what I was talking about earlier, but and this actually poopy pants is sponsored by my husband. He is the one this morning who was like, you should explain this because it really does give you poopy pants. I'm like, you're right. So basically what happens is like Nick loves all sports. So it's not just like he loves to watch baseball or football or hockey. He'll watch soccer. He'll wake up in the morning, he'll check the surf, he'll watch soccer. Like he never even used to care about soccer. Like he'll watch like, I don't know, a cornhole tournament on ESPN.
Hell
like
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
He
just likes to see, you guys would love him. I know you guys would get along, but he just loves to see people compete at the best of the best. Like that, he's just passionate about it. It doesn't really matter what it is, even though he has his preferences. So what ends up happening on the weekends is our television is only playing sports like from freaking 7 in the morning when we wake up to like 9 p.m. at night. And I'm like, do you just on Saturday, on Sunday, and then yesterday, right? He comes home and he's like, well, it's the college football. I'm like, it's always something. It doesn't matter. I was like, it doesn't matter if 2-year-olds are about to play in the Super Bowl. Like you'd be like, this is fucking, you'd be like, let's watch it. It doesn't matter. So it's like every day, all the time, especially on the weekends, it's just sports. It's just sports. And I'm like, look, can we just change it up a little bit? Like, I think it's great that you're passionate
I get that.
about this, okay? But this is a lot. And then he goes and surfs and he's very active, right? So it's just like, what about
I get you. What about me? What about my needs and what I want to watch?
Do you bully him off the TV?
I mean, I don't. Unless I have something I really want to watch, like I'll be like, I'll just make a comment about it, like a little passive aggressive comment.
Wait. Let me ask something.
Wait, like what? Like what do you?
I feel like you've been. I'm a honey badger for sure. When you've been with someone for 17 years, there's no filter. Yeah. So I'm just like, are we gonna fucking play anything else on this television this weekend? Like I'm like, I don't know if you realize this, but you literally hogged the TV the whole weekend. Like I'm just letting you know. And he's like, okay, you're right. I have been. I know I have been.
Oh my God.
And then he's like, and then guess what? For. And then he's like, do you want to watch anything? I'm like, no.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I was like, I just needed to say that.
Shut your damn mouth.
Oh my gosh, Mallory. You know what gives me poopy pants? When my wife does the same thing and I say, well, what do you want to do? I don't know.
I know.
Nothing.
Do whatever you want. I'm like, oh. Well, all right. So quick. Do you have more than one TV in the household, or is it just the one that you have? So just the one.
Just have one.
Okay.
We just have one.
So yeah, you have no choice. Like with Zoe, at least she does it to me all the time. She'll be like, I'm done. I want to watch whatever, like fucking whatever it is. And I at least get to go in the bedroom, or we have a guest room like / office where I'll just log the TV on and I just close the door. But the only thing I will get is, but I wanted to spend the day together. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do?
Oh, and then the other thing. I don't know how you guys are when you watch sports, okay? And I know a lot of men are like this, and women, it's not just men, but like he's on another level. Like he is screaming. Like when the Bears lost, he lost his voice. Our neighbors could hear him from a block away. He gets so passionate. He's screaming,
block away,
thumping. He's so loud. Like he's just screaming at sports or anything. I'm like,
it depends on the team, but I
gotta hear it, right? So it's like not only is it on the television, but now I gotta hear you screaming for the whole weekend. I'm like, God.
I could totally.
Anyways, that's my poopy pants.
I'm picturing
is he a Bears fan?
Scandinavian hopscotch finals.
He's a Bears fan?
Just going nuts.
Well,
So
the thing is, he wasn't a Bears fan for a minute. Well, he grew up both in Chicago, but because the Bears have sucked so much in the last 15, 20 years, he's fallen out.
Yeah.
And now he's like, oh, but he's like, now I'm back. I'm emotionally invested. And like, I'm not kidding you. After the Bears game was over, we couldn't speak for 2 hours. Like, he was processing.
That's how I get.
He was processing. Okay. Here's another example. Okay. Sorry. I'm like, this just opened a can of worms for me.
I love this.
But he's extremely competitive. So for example, we play in a lot of sports leagues together. So we did a volleyball league together. We got into like the championships. We lost. We get in the car. Okay. And I'm like, what should we have for dinner? He's like, I can't even think about dinner right now. I'm still processing that loss. How could you even think about? I'm like,
he's the man. He's awesome.
I mean?
I love it.
So passionate. So you guys would love him. And so I just kind of, I've been with him for so long, I can tune it out. But there are weekends where I'm like,
oh yeah,
this is too much.
I will put it this way: like the Mets, like I am diehard, like Met. Like I don't know.
Okay, so you get there. You get there with them. Yeah.
They didn't make a trade that I wanted to happen over the weekend. And Zoe tries talking to me. And I'm just like so short and curt. She's like, are you seriously like treating me like this? Because the Mets didn't trade. The guy's name is Kyle Tucker. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty pissed off, Zoe. I was like, they could have done it. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I was like, this doesn't even make it. The Dodgers got him. And I'm like, I hate the Dodgers. I don't want to talk. I was like, leave me alone. And then like 4 hours later, I'm like, okay, like, hey, what are you doing? You want to hang out? It's like, I'm like crawling back. I'm like, hey, I'm over it. Like, it's cool. It's okay.
Oh my God. Y'all need to get in a room and have therapy or something.
And Zoe said, she's like, oh my gosh. Like, she's like, you're letting like one guy just control how you feel and you don't even know who he is. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. It's exactly
Zoe's right. I need to meet her. Meet her. Because we can bond over this. We can bond over this poopy Definitely pants. You know what I mean?
That's so funny though. That's so good.
Anyways, I don't have any more poopy pants. That was just it. I felt like that was a big one for me, but especially during playoff season, right? Because it's like we're in the thick of playoff season of football.
High stakes.
So it's just yeah, exactly. Anyways, I'm like, I just let that all out. Now I'm done. Like, I feel like I can't talk about anything more, but that actually brings us to the last segment today, which is what's happening in the world of AI. What's happening in the news? First thing to kind of chat through is Claude Cowork. So Anthropic launched Cowork, I believe last week, which is Claude Code for non-coders. So you can sort of point it at a folder on your computer and tell it what you want. It could organize your files. It could extract data from receipt screenshots. It can draft reports. And it sort of does the work itself in your system versus via a browser. So it looks like it's available for Claude Max subscribers around like 100 to 200 a month. I'm not sure, but yeah, I feel like this is a huge update.
I think that's a huge step. I think it's just making our lives me personally, like I can think of so many things I can just optimize, especially around the podcast, like guest backgrounds, a calendar set, content summaries, all of that. I can do all of that in there, and I know I've just learned to use Claude more than ChatGPT. It also writes better content.
It does, but isn't there like? And listen, maybe I'm just naive and dumb in that sense, where it's like, you're already giving all this information out, right? When you're typing in prompts to any of these, LLMs, right? To Claude or ChatGPT. It's like now you're giving it access into your actual like hard drive. Like, I don't know, man. Like there's something in me where
you won't use
like,
it.
what are you signing off on that you're not seeing in the terms of agreement? That is just like, yeah, and now we have all your shit. And if we want it, like that makes you so much more susceptible, I think, to like, attacks and spam and people getting your information that you don't want out there. It's just like anything else. I'm not like AT&T had a huge data breach a year ago, right? And yeah, they got all my info, but I don't know, it's AT&T. It's what happens. But it's like, I just think you're kind of setting yourself up to be that much more susceptible, and I don't really trust it in that sense yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's
a big security thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will not be using it then, huh?
No, I don't think so because I mean, listen, this is for people who don't know how to, but it's like I'm already at the point where I know how to build out agents, right? Or right there where I can do it myself without needing to give it access to things like that. Like I can keep it a little bit more guardrailed.
Yeah, I think that's valid. I haven't started using it yet either. I really am curious about it, but I also don't want it to give it access to all of my data. I mean, to some extent, we already have with how much we just with how we use, ChatGPT and Claude. And I know you weren't here last week, Connor, but our guest Sylvia talked a lot about how the lines between professional and personal use with these tools have completely blurred, right? So you're not just using it for work, like you're using it for, probably a lot of other personal things as well. So it's going to have access to all of that. And that doesn't feel great. Like, could you imagine a data breach where like files and photos and documents from your computers were, which I feel like I'm being crazy, but like if that were to happen, that'd be wild.
And it's just right. It's like data breach. Somebody gets into it, and now they're able to access your hard drive and stuff. It's like, listen, from a personal perspective, maybe it's not as bad, but from an enterprise solution, that's some big privacy stuff you're talking about, right? Like you got to really make sure that that's tightened up as best it can be.
Doesn't Anthropic tout themselves as a safety first company? Like safety is like their top concern. Isn't that what
I'm sure it's more of a selling point than it is something that they actually are able to do. I mean, I don't know.
I thought that's why
I'm kind of talking out of my neck.
I think it's a selling point in general for tech related products, especially here in like the Bay Area and in San Francisco with the types of ads I see. Like, I think it's a lot of like, let AI actually do real work for you, kind of like what we talked about with John, like work that's actually useful. And then there's some of that sentiment as well, of like, we protect your privacy, we protect your data. Like Apple's really big on that. Like I've seen ads around San Francisco over the years where they're just talking about the importance of privacy and your data. Actually, so that is a big selling point, Connor. So I want to take them at their word for it. But it is, I would say, a pretty marketable point for a lot of tech companies in general.
It's definitely marketable. And I'm trying to even think, and it could just be the way I have it set up, but it's like Apple's a great example. You know how many 2FAs I need to get into Apple and how many things I have to tell before I can get into my account?
A lot.
I don't even need 2FA from my ChatGPT account right now. I log in through my Google and it's done. I don't have to do any 2FA.
Yeah.
Google, I would Google's still more secure to me than with ChatGPT. It's way more secure in my opinion.
Knowing like building our app and going through like Google Cloud or like the cloud console, and then authentication like via connectors and all that. Like I'm now like confident that my stuff will not get stolen. My IP, like personal record, like that stuff won't.
Yeah. Google's great like that. I just again going through like a chat or a Claude. It's like I don't. I've never gone through a 2FA. I'm thinking for them. It's like so. They gotta bolster that up. I think before this really is something I'd be confident in.
That's fair. All right, moving on. So ChatGPT is testing ads, especially with the free and the Go plan, which is the $8 a month tier. So ads appear at the bottom of responses. They're clearly labeled. For right now, I believe this is rolled out to free users in the US only. So I think what this could signal is that like even OpenAI with billions in funding can't make AI, like free AI, sort of sustainable as a business without ads or some sort of paid conversion. So I think that this is a signal of that. Although, when we talked to John, right, he was like, look, if Sam Altman needs to go raise $14 billion right now, he would be able to do it. And I do agree with him on that. But of course, it is a business at the end of the day, and they do need to figure out how to monetize at scale. So I don't know. I have the pro plan, or whatever the $20 is, but so I haven't seen this yet, but I'm curious to see what that would look like as I use the free sort of plan, how tasteful it would feel.
I think this is pretty exciting. We were talking offline about this, Connor. Do you remember back in the day, like how wild Facebook ads were back in the day?
Yep.
Like the impressions you can get, like the impact, the ROI, just the general ROAS of Facebook ads way back when like it first started. I'm wondering if that's what it will be like with ChatGPT. It's absolutely a new growth channel, obviously, hopefully. It'd be pretty cool if it was. But yeah, I'm excited for it. And
I'm just curious, like what they're less from the user perspective and more from the marketer perspective, how they're leveraging that in terms and what data and KPIs they're giving you to say, like, hey, this is what we based off of, right? Is it CPM? And I'm sure they have it set up the same way a Meta does or a Google does or Reddit or anywhere else. But I'm more curious about like the platform, the reporting in the back end, like how you leverage it. Do you like how do you even tell them how you want your ads to display? Is it keyword based, right? If somebody types in ChatGPT, local, like what's the best Mexican restaurant in Astoria, Queens? Like, am I able to put Mexican restaurant Astoria, Queens as the phrase that I want to show up for? Like, how is all of that now work in conjunction, or is it only available to the big players like a Nike or a Netflix or somebody else who it's like, yeah, they're going to be the first ones who get to use it because of XYZ. So I think it's a great idea. You have to monetize it without a doubt. Otherwise it's not sustainable, but more so what it looks like from a marketing perspective and how you can really leverage it if it's for local or national clients too, because it's a boon from a marketing agency perspective. I can go to someone today and say, yeah, I can make you show up on ChatGPT when someone's looking for the best limo service in New Jersey, because I have a limo client in New Jersey. It's like they would in a heartbeat, they'd be like, I'll give you $5,000 for this month. Like, let's go, let's run with it. So I think there's a lot more discovery around it still that needs to be done.
Interesting. First thing that just popped in my head is, can that limo client take us to that AI event in May?
I could. Yeah. They actually did my wedding stuff.
Oh, did they? Oh, cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was a nice little trade-off. I'll do a month of work for all my transit needs for my wedding.
That's cool. No, I think it's very, very exciting. Hopefully, it's a good new distribution channel for builders.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think there's no doubt that it will be. I think this is just the beginning of that. And then last but not least, Mark Andreessen at A16Z is talking quite a bit about the importance of raising prices. He is going around and telling the Portco companies for A16Z to do this. And his reasoning is sort of price by value and not cost, and that higher prices fund better products. The internet sort of roasted him for being tone deaf, but the advice is sort of solid, I guess, for AI founders. So if you're solving a $100,000 problem, don't charge $1,000 because it costs you $100 to deliver. And I know when we had Jon Cheney on, in his experience, like he was able to get like a $15,000 contract 5 days after launching his sort of product, and he priced it by value, right? Not the cost per se.
What are your thoughts on this, Mallory? As somebody who's in Silicon Valley, been in this space,
look, I'm working with a startup right now. They are looking to kind of go through an open beta, and they're trying to talk about how to price their product. And I still see a lot of, it's interesting because we talked a lot about pricing by usage, but I actually think we're going to move in a direction. And the startup I'm working with, they want to price by value. And that's kind of what Jon talks a lot about as well, or has, and that's what he's done. But I think we're going to try and see more around that because I don't know. I think it's going to be a better way, I think, to position pricing to customers. I think it's just like when we, for example, like, right. And I use this example all the time when we're paying for text messages and minutes on our phones, like we are way beyond that pricing structure at this point, right? Everything's sort of packaged up, and sort of perceived by value versus like you've used this much. And I think we're in the AI space, we're starting to move out of that, especially considering that, I think the cost of usage is going to continue to go down over time. And so I think pricing is just going to change as well. But I like that it's via value and not cost. I think that's how it should be. And I think that's the direction that makes the most sense. So I'm curious to see what that will mean for vibe coding platforms that have, I think, primarily kind of been pricing their structure in that way. Not sure about sort of the enterprise SaaS world. I feel like they kind of maybe have been packaging by value. I could be totally wrong, by the way, but I'm totally making that assumption. But I think it's a good move. I think it makes sense.
I think, this is coming from my experience in agency space. The higher that we priced our monthly retainers, the better clients that we got, because it's been my experience, and I had a mentor too, that when you communicate, you have a high price, it communicates to the prospect, not quite the client yet, but the prospect, that you have your shit together, and the value that you're going to get, you're going to pay $1, but we're going to give you back like, I don't know, $10, $15, whatever it is. And if you only charge $1,000 a month, well, what does that say about the service that you provide? So like there's some study of, I might be kind of going on a tangent, but there's like 3 bottles of wine. They stripped the labels off. One was 1,000, one was like 250, one was like 20, but they didn't have the price tag on them. And they like mixed them up and, blind taste and all that. And everybody said, yep, the 1,000 bottle of wine tastes the best when they're all the exact same bottle of wine. So it's a very strong signal, in my opinion, pricing, and you should price high. You should also provide, a really strong value. And
yeah, I think not over promising, which is something I like to work on with founders too, right? Like especially with these tools, there's a lot of hype marketing happening in the space. So as long as you don't over promise, like that type of structure makes sense, right?
Assuming you're delivering something very easy to use, very simple, value in the first 10 seconds, when signing in, that kind of thing. I absolutely think you should price it high. And in fact, our next guest, Rob Hoffman, is really an expert at that. That's next week. We're absolutely going to ask him about that. But I think it's better to price high than too low, because you get better customers that way as well.
That makes total sense.
Connor, what are your thoughts on that? As somebody in the agency space and now SaaS space.
I mean, as far as like, I'm trying to still wrap my head around it a little bit, because listen, when I'm reading this too, just from, if you're solving a 100K problem, don't charge 1K just because it costs you 100 to deliver. I think it's a lot of that to me comes down to optics too, right? Because if you are, just by saying that alone, if I'm someone who's paying for that, like I get it. I get the value that you're giving me in return, but now I have a better understanding of what your return on that actually is. Does that make sense how I'm saying it? In some capacity?
You're pointing out that it only took somebody X amount of time, like a very small amount of time, and charging.
Correct. Like from an optics perspective, from a user, to me, that kind of makes you feel like, yes, I get it. Like the value is here, and maybe that's how you can sell me. I think that works better maybe in an enterprise. Like
usually like
right?
time saved, money saved.
Correct. Like, if that's like the direction it goes in, totally understand it. But from like a D2C, like B2C standpoint, like as a user who, maybe doesn't have the means to afford things like that, but it still provides me value. I just think the optics aspect of it just looks off to me, right? So I don't know how you bridge that gap and kind of reassure the user like, hey, listen, it only takes X amount of time. This is what you're getting in return, and it's still worthwhile, right? And so that's really the only thing I can think of with that. I think yours and Mallory's takes are probably way better than mine on this one, but that's just where I'm at and looking at it.
All right. Well, we'll see how this transpires this year, with how, current sort of startups and AI platforms will update their pricing, but then to sort of see the new startups and how they think about pricing with their products they're building, I think will be really interesting. So cool. I think this is something we'll come back to.
For sure.
And with that being said, that's the end of this week's podcast. Thank you so much for listening and joining Charlie, Connor, and myself, and of course, our guest, Jon, earlier today. Like we said, we're going to be in Colorado this weekend, so we've got some bonus episodes dropping, and then we'll be back next week with another episode.
Peace.
Love it. Peace, y'all.
Let's go.